Xbox under pressure, ponies got salt, people freaking out, hold that line. Stop it on the way, showcase gonna show out. Satya says,
let's wait for it all to play out.
Let us compete! Hold the line! Hold!
Let's go, King!
You weak dudes make me sick!
King's picking facts, double staters everywhere. Redfall may suck, but we got games to spare. Boys are gonna shine, Hellblade 2, everything's fine, just hold that line. Hold the line. Hold!
Hold the line!
Hold!
Hold the line!
Hold!
Hold the line!
Let's wait for it all to play out.
Let them know you guys are in my DM. King, what will we do? We will hold the line!
Xbox under pressure, ponies got salt, people freaking out, hold that line. Stop it on the way, showcase gonna show out. Satya says,
let's wait for it all to play out.
let us compete!
Hold the line!
Hold!
Let's go, King!
You weak dudes make me sick!
King's picking facts, double staters everywhere. Redfall may suck, but we got games to spare. Boys are gonna shine, Hellblade 2, everything's fine, just hold that line. Hold the line. Hold!
Hold the line!
Hold!
Hold the line!
Hold!
Hold the line!
Let's wait for it all to play out.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Xbox Ultimate Podcast. What episode are we on? This is episode 139. Wow. Let's hold the line. Appreciate you all tuning into the show. And we're going to have some fun. It's been a fun time here on Twitter the last couple hours, goofing around, having some fun. Shout out to King David and Iron Lords Podcast. Those guys for letting me post that. I asked King for permission to use his clips and stuff, and he was great about it. He said his wife loved it, actually.
I gotta question his wife's taste. Sorry, King.
That's I have some older stuff on the channel, some Mavy Wine clips, and that's going to go into the collection there. So I appreciate you guys for letting me have some fun, and we're gonna have some fun on this show as well. And I gotta give a shout out real quick to Cheo Walker, who had hit us with a $5 super chat before we went live. He said, I didn't know I needed a Mav and King collab until I seen one. And I appreciate that, Cheo. You're absolutely awesome, man. And hey, yo, Vik The CLiCK already starting us strong with 5 gifteds. Congrats to everybody who got one of those as well. Vic, you're awesome. And Jax82 with a $2 super chat says, wow, Mav, wow, I didn't know you had it in you. Yeah. I worked really hard and long on that. It's little fun things I like to do. But yeah, I appreciate it, guys, for checking that out. And the video's on the channel, and it's on Twitter, too, if you want to check that out again. But we're going to have some fun because guess what? It's been an interesting week, everybody. We got news between ABK, European Commission, China, as well. CMA looking shaky on the stand, getting questioned by Parliament over there. We have Xbox showcase rumors. And hey, everybody, guess what? I got a leaked list. It's official, 100% real. And I'm going to go through that later. You guys are going to be absolutely fucking shocked with the games that are going to be at the Xbox showcase. Let me tell you that. Besides that, we're going to have just a great time here hanging out with the fam. And I hope you enjoy the show. But let's get to this amazing panel. What's up to Fuzzy Belvedere? Welcome to the show.
What's up, everyone? Glad to be here. Yeah, you're wilding out on Twitter. It's awesome to see, man. This was it showcase seasons? Definitely got everybody hyped up. But man, oh man, can't wait to get into these topics. Have some fun tonight, man. Hit that like button, people, and let's do this.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Appreciate you. Psycho, how's it going, bro?
I'm doing fantastic. It's been an interesting week.
That list is straight fire. Most anticipated game of 2023 is Pony Tamer 1 and 2. I can't believe
get
that
2 also.
They have so much faith in that game that they're putting the sequel out before the first one. Even
huge
comes
investment
out.
from the franchise. I mean, and I didn't say who the developers were. One is the Coalition, and the other one is actually 343. Actually,
Great use of talent. Great use of talent right there.
Wait, total for the sequel?
But yeah, I mean, they have so much confidence in this franchise that they're going to release both of those games within the next 12 months.
Confirmed Pony Tamer 2 on Slip Space Engine. Confirmed.
Yeah, absolutely. Unreal 5, metahuman faces, and ponies everywhere. Jasper, how's it going with you?
Doing all right, I guess. Watched Guardians yesterday. So
nice.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Psycho,
it's a great movie.
Hogue hated it too. Hogue hated it too. 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10.
2 out of 10 for Hogue. Wow.
Yeah. He said it was a pile of shit.
Really? Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
I wasn't that critical on it. It was it was halfway decent, but it just, I don't know. There was just so much that I'm not gonna get into it because this is not Fun Pop. So yeah.
I loved it. Jasper loved it. Most of the people loved it. It's got an 8.2 sitting there on IMDb. Top 100 movies of all time rating right now. So yeah, I think it's good, but you know, everybody's got their taste. 3-Bit, how's it going with you, man?
It's pretty good. Just had a stream. Excited to jump into this one. It's been quite some time, and what an episode to return to with your rap. And yeah, it's been pretty good. I know Pong's been giving me crap behind the scenes, but
yeah.
No, not me. I just can't believe he made 2 shows in a freaking row. Like, this has got to be a record, bro. This has got to be a record right here.
You know, because like he was supposed to have it on Wednesday, and it was Friday.
Yes,
it got pushed. It got delayed.
Delayed.
Shout out to Poison Maniac for giving him a hard time too. Saying he didn't even put out the cancellation notice.
that was funny.
God.
I was dying.
Imagine that happened to like Redfall. All of a sudden, the date happens and then it didn't come out, and people are like, "What the heck? Where is it?"
Yeah.
There's like, "Oh."
I do recommend everybody checking out 3-Bit stream. He showed off how metahuman works, and he recreated me and Jasper. Somehow,
and apparently, metahuman is just ass.
Yeah, apparently so. Metahuman turned me into an old Asian man with bleached blonde hair, and which was interesting. I didn't know. I mean, it's talented. You know, to be able to turn people into other things and stuff. You know,
3-Bit's used to making ducks. Okay, he's not used to making humans.
That's my
difference.
I'm so excited for everything metahuman now. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And shout out to Spooky, member for 5 months, said Vanilla Ice ain't got nothing on Mav. All right, stop. Okay. Collaborate.
Hammer time.
That's MC Hammer.
That's what you just did.
No, I said, all right, stop.
Yeah.
Collaborate.
I said
and
hammer
listen.
time.
I didn't say
you were
hammer
going
time.
that way.
Back with a brand new
But me and 3-Bit went hammer time because that's
Ice
what
is back
hammer
with my
time is.
brand new
hammer time.
invention. Something grabs a hold of me tightly, flows like a harpoon daily and nightly. Will it ever stop you? I don't know. All right, hey, Pong Soul.
Turn the lights and I'll go
To the extreme, rock a bike like a van. Hey, Pong, what's up, man?
Yes.
How's it going?
Hey, it's great to be here. Shout out to you, Mav, for having some fun. No, I got to give you credit because I said you got bigger balls than me. I would never post that shit. So shout out to you because it's so bad it's good. It's freaking amazing. It is totally you, and I absolutely love when you do this shit. And you're on a roll because the leaked list, man, unbelievable get on your part.
Yeah. Phil sent it to me directly. People
well, you want to know how I know it's real?
Yeah.
Because it's actually a straight on camera shot. If you notice, all the leaked camera shots are from the side, confidential written across it. Like, so yours has got to be legit. And I checked with my sources, which are different from yours. They said it's good, man. So
100%.
I can't wait to talk about that. But no, what a week of news. The EC, China, both clearing the way. More and more. looks like this deal is just going to be, woo, Microsoft is going to push this sucker through. They unleashed some of the sympathetic media dogs over across the pond today, writing some opinion pieces for the UK audience, talking about how this blockage is terrible for the UK consumer. It's war. It's flat out war, and Satya is not going to lose this one. So this is going to go down. So that's been fun. But yeah, we got that showcase smell in the air, Mav, like we talked about last night. Heavyweight battle is back on. The heavyweight showcase showdown is official now that we got Sony lined up for next week. It's good to have those two back going head to head. I absolutely love it. So we got a lot to talk about, a lot to get into. Let's get down to business, brother.
Yeah, let's get down to it, man. We're gonna have an absolute blast on this show, and you know, there is a lot of interesting things going on in the Xbox world right now, including that list. You know, like Pong said, these games were sent to me directly, you know, from Phil Spencer himself, and there's people that have been asking me on Twitter, for real, is this legit? They've been saying, is this real? And I'm saying, yes, it's absolutely real. So let's go through the list real quick, guys. If you want to just go ahead and start it off strong like this and grow and go with this list here of absolutely 100% legit. These are legits. Legit leaked games here. It's interesting here. So let's go with that. You know, I think that this list has some fire games in it. I think it's going to make a big splash. And I think the Xbox is going to win the showcase war with these games. So first off, Transformers Gen 1 is exclusive to Xbox.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, this is a big deal here, Transformers Gen 1. We've been asking for a Transformers Gen 1 game for forever, right? And they finally deliver it exclusively on Xbox. But not only that, Thundercats. I mean, ho! Let's go. Thundercats. Yeah. Let's go. Absolutely. Snarf. Ninja Turtles by Rocksteady. They've actually, what we didn't know is the reason why Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League looks so bad is because they've been putting all of their time into this Ninja Turtles game that we've all been asking for.
Damn.
Yeah, so
my source said they're actually reskinning the Justice League to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's their plan for a reboot of that.
Is it? Okay.
Game. Yes,
nice.
They're just going to reskin it.
Nice. Reskin it. Okay. That's very possible. And then yes, GTA 6 will be there exclusive on Xbox. Absolutely. It's not going to be anywhere. It's just exclusive.
Massive news.
Yeah, exclusive.
$20 billion.
In fact, there's only one thing on at the entire show that's not exclusive. Red Dead Redemption 2 4K 60 next gen update with zombies expansion. You remember like Undead Nightmare from Red Dead? Well, we're getting that finally. A 4K 60 next gen update with zombies expansion exclusively on Xbox. PlayStation fans aren't going to be able to get the update. There's an Arkham Collection remake also from Rocksteady, which is exclusive. That's going to be 4K 60 as well. Killer Instinct versus Mortal Kombat. That's crazy
because we were just talking about that last night, Mav.
Yeah,
the
you're
Arkham
right.
Collection. We just talked about that.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's crazy that we were talking about it last night and it showed up on this list. Killer Instinct versus Mortal Kombat. So not only is Mortal Kombat 1 coming out this year, also Killer Instinct versus Mortal Kombat. A Mech Assault reboot. They figured out the licensing finally for that, and we're getting it. I forgot to mention, it's gonna start off with Sarah Bond saying all these games within the next 12 months. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Splinter Cell remake is going to be there again exclusively on Xbox, and then this is new franchise that they're kicking off. That there's a lot of talent behind it. Called Pony Tamer. Yeah, Pony Tamer. It's going to be an absolute crazy big franchise. They believe in it a lot, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. Final Fantasy 17 is going to be announced here. Remember, also within 12 months, Final Fantasy 17 exclusively on Xbox. Perfect Dark will be there exclusive, Avowed exclusive, State of Decay 3 exclusive, Everwild exclusive, Fable exclusive, Outer Worlds 2 is exclusive, Gears of War Phoenix Collection exclusive, Gears of War 6 exclusive, This Is Fake, You Dumbass exclusive.
That's the one Tom from Toonami is very hyped about.
Is it?
He said it in the chat. Yeah.
This Is Fake, You Dumbass is another new franchise. That's Xbox.
Who's that by?
I think that one was Rare.
Oh, it's rare. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is that like just Everwild 2 then?
Kind of. Yeah. Indiana Jones exclusive. X-Men, one we've all been waiting for. Finally, the collaboration that's always made sense.
Nice.
And then Pony Tamer 2. Again, exclusive.
So I'm wondering, is Pony Tamer 1 and 2, is that like like a collection, or is it like
my sources are saying it's like Telltale game.
Oh, so
Right, so it's going to be the continuation of the story,
episodes.
part 2. Yeah, like episodes, correct? Yes.
Do you think that was a good resources for Coalition to work on this Telltale style game?
Yes.
This was the smaller IP that they must have been working on, right?
Right. They actually finished it. They didn't cancel it. They finished it, and they're going to publish it now.
Yeah, and
So,
343 is
they're
doing 2.
Oh.
So
Why are they leaving the production of the first one?
well,
why
no,
is
they're
it-
not leaving. Like
No.
the Coalition's doing 1, and 343 didn't have anything else to do anymore since everybody
okay.
else took over the development for Halo. So they said just go ahead and make the sequel to Pony Tamer.
Well, and I heard they already had the story written because they had seen Pony Tamer 1, and they
Yeah.
were so inspired that they had already started storyboarding. So they had the story already to rock and roll.
So it was
Phil
already
saw
the-
that and was Phil said, "Oh well, shit! Since you guys aren't doing anything, go ahead and write Pony Tamer 2 then. Just go ahead and do it." Yeah.
And then this
that
one's
makes sense.
I'm really excited about this one too. It's Xbox Podcast Simulator,
Mm.
which is another
Mm.
exclusive. Yeah. So if you've ever wanted to live out your dreams of running an Xbox podcast, now in Game Pass you're going to be able to play Xbox Podcast Simulator. It's
You
going to
two
be
can make terrible raps.
yeah, it's going to be in the cloud and everything. And this one will be everywhere though, but the UK.
But the
And then the only game that's not exclusive on this list is Hello Kitty MMO, because MMO they want it everywhere.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
Hello
That
Kitty.
makes- that makes sense.
Yeah.
Hello Kitty is
that
going to
has
be
to
a big draw in the East. I don't doubt that they take over Japan within the 12 months then.
And the
Right.
8-year-old girls in
Just
the
with
West, I
yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Into a cell phone.
Is it going to be
near you.
DLC?
On Hello Kitty.
Yeah.
Well, it's an MMO, so it's like always going to have ongoing content.
Come on.
Oh,
They're
okay.
gonna-
Sorry.
They're using
Yeah.
ESO as a model, bro. Come
Yeah,
on, man.
I mean,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
for everybody wondering. This is the big ZeniMax
So there's
Online MMO
microtransactions.
that we've been waiting for.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That is-
Ah.
Yes.
Yeah,
The one they've been
ZeniMax.
working on for 6 years.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's going to use MetaHuman.
I can't wait.
Metahuman Hello
for the
Kitty.
cat?
Yeah, it's going to use
The cat
MetaHuman
faces.
faces. It has ray tracing as well. And
Dang,
it
an
has,
MMO? That's,
and ray traced audio.
Mm.
I'm
Yeah.
just amazed that they beat DoKV to publish it.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the plan all along, Fuzzy. They had to get out before Dokkan
Yeah.
V.
Yeah.
They had to.
What a showcase.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing, right? Shout out
That's
to
an 11
everybody
out of 10.
on Twitter that asked if the list was real. Including the game that's called This Is Fake, You Dumbass.
That was the best one. Shout out to Grim Jr. in the chat who jumped in here late and said, I just got here and I thought this was real.
Yeah. No, we had fun with that. But yeah, we don't, I guarantee you there will be some of these games that are there. Maybe the Perfect Dark or like the Avowed or Fable or something like that.
Yeah, Indiana Jones, possibly.
Indiana Jones could be there. If 3-bits hints tell us anything about it.
How many were on that list?
85. No, I'm just kidding. I have no idea. How many,
85.
85 games. We're gonna have 85
I
games.
was gonna
at the
say
showcase.
that's a stacked hour and a half right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to figure they're gonna deep dive Hello Kitty MMO. I mean, they're gonna have to show that off to show what it's all about. So
Yeah. I was surprised
know
that
what game won't be
Forza's
there,
not
though?
going to be there.
Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah,
Hello
Fuzzy,
Kitty,
did
but
you
not
notice
Forza?
that, Fuzzy? No Forza.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Delayed.
delayed. I'm shocked.
It's
Delayed outside of another 12 months, Fuzzy. It'll be here by end of 2024.
Oh.
They just couldn't fit it in with all the good games. They had to move forward.
Hello
Sorry,
Kitty
Fuzz.
MMO, hard.
They didn't want to drown. They didn't want to drown Forza out the gate. Come on, Fuzz.
Yep.
They better have some sort of kart racing added to that MMO. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. There's
Understanding goes now. The real one is going to sound lame. The real list.
the real list will sound really lame compared to this. I'm sorry if I've ruined the show for you.
Expectations.
Shout out to Colin Prime on Twitter who just tweeted 6 minutes ago. Yeah, I bet this is fake.
Well, he just named one of the games on there. That's all he did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shout out to Randall.
Shout out to Victor Hugo Chavez de Aquino on Twitter for asking for the source.
Yes.
Yeah, he said source, please. I told him Kotaku.
Yes,
which is very appropriate.
That's legit.
That's very appropriate.
Kotaku was the source. Shout out to Joe Galetto who said fake. Yeah.
He just wanted to make
gave it
sure.
away?
He just wanted to make sure. Just,
yeah. He's a skeptical.
He's being a good community member.
Yeah.
Didn't want anybody else to get caught off guard because he probably did some searching.
Yeah.
And found out that it was fake.
Uh-huh.
So he's like, damn it, this is fake.
Grumpy old gamer who said, "What a bullcrap list."
Well, he's grumpy.
He's grumpy. I mean,
Right, yeah, exactly. Thank you, Fuzz.
Yeah.
Thinking the same.
That's the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should have actually. You should have put Grub on that, so he could have used that for next.
Get some next game mess. Yeah, that
Yeah,
would be great. That's I was honestly dying at some of the comments, but shout out to everybody, and appreciate you all for having fun with us on this stuff. But shout out to Rand Althor. It hit us with a $10 super chat. It says, "But Mav, don't forget the leaked slide I showed you though." Rand sent me a slide just a little while ago, and the funny thing about this slide is this one almost looks like it could be real based on the games that are on the list, but I don't know what to think of it because of my post, and Rand just sent it to me randomly and said LOL. So I don't know, but shout out to Rand, and I appreciate you, dude. But yeah, that's an interesting list, and I don't know what to make of it. Is that one been going around Twitter, Rand? I gotta ask you that. Or is
it the one with all the logos and it's like kind of like
Confidential.
bluish?
Yeah,
background?
it's like bluish and it's like off to the side.
Yeah, that's the one that
Yeah.
goes around every single year.
Yeah,
They
it's
just
the
change
same
the
one.
logos. Yeah.
That's great. That one they did a good job on it because the games are like more like reasonable, right, on it. So I gotta say they get some credit there. I don't. If you see a list right now going around on Twitter or anything, it's fake.
It's
right?
fake. Yeah,
100%. If Rand sends it into your DMs, it makes you second guess yourself for a half second because it's Rand Althor 19.
correct.
Right.
Well, it's better than a random D pick.
And you know what, Rand's that's true. That's true, Psycho. But Rand is one of those dudes who would send you the real list,
Right.
and then just have you
it
think it's
makes you
fake the
question-
entire time.
Right. And he's the actual source all along, right? Shout out to Web Dave with the $2 super chat. It says Bizarro World Speculation, Fuzzy Kart Racer. Fuzzy Kart Racer. Indiana Jones 8-ball, Indiana Jones 8-ball. Yeah, that's Dave was paying attention during that 3-bit appearance on my solo stream the other day. When 3-bit randomly in my solo stream, when we're talking about the showcase, put a freaking cowboy hat man and an 8-ball next to each other.
It could mean absolutely nothing.
Or it can mean absolutely everything.
Or it could.
It could mean.
Hey,
Who knows?
it's up to interpretation.
Oh, Rand, you
Who
know
knows?
it's true. You know it's true. Don't give me the Pong. You know it's true.
But yeah, this has been a fun day. We got lots to talk about though. Hey, the CMA kind of got questioned by the UK Parliament the other day. They were squirming in their seats with pressure that seemed like was being put on, questions that seemed like they came straight from Twitter, from asked to them, because it's a lot of the talking points we've had on our shows, even as some of the questions that were asked. And this came hot on the heels after the EC approval of ABK acquisition. And now China has actually even approved the acquisition, which if we go back in time about a month ago or so, China was really the one we had a lot of questions about. And they actually approved it without any concessions or anything, right? So that's interesting. So really is the only thing holding up this deal is the CMA now, right? We don't have any real worries or concerns about any other places. We know what's going to happen with the FTC. That's already kind of foregone conclusion. The CMA is the only thing here. And if you look at Satya's comments that he made in an interview recently, if you saw the clip of it on this music video that I had there, where he said, let's see how it all plays out. I got a question for you guys. Do we see a future potentially where Microsoft could say, well, UK, we're going to do whatever we got to do to get this deal closed, close it around you, and manipulate our services in your region so that way you don't affect the deal? It seems like Satya was leaving that door open. I was listening to Xbox 2 earlier, and Jez was even kind of putting that energy out as well. So I don't know, man. Pong, what do you think, man?
Like I said, there's a lot of thoughts around. There's just people who say this can't be done, and then there's other people who say it can be done. And like I said, I will never doubt a $1 trillion corporation who has as much political clout, who has as much power in general, just because their services, their software runs everything in a lot of these countries, that they won't find an alternate route to actually work around it. I think, obviously, think what you want to of Michael Pachter. Pachter's been the one from the beginning who said that they will do something like that if necessary to get this deal go through. And again, Pachter, I've watched him for probably 20 years now, listened to him for 20 years now. Dude's wrong often. He's gotten things right, but, I just firmly believe that Microsoft has options. And I think every option is on the table, including nuclear options, including that, because again, they taste this deal, and this deal is the biggest deal in Microsoft history. This isn't some little, we can forget about this kind of deal. This is something that Phil himself described as an accelerant for their future plans. Now, is it necessary? No, but you've got a leader in Satya, the head of all of Microsoft, who's got a legacy, who he's going to leave behind, and he's done some incredible things for Microsoft. So his legacy is already cemented, but he's got another piece of it here. And do you think he wants to walk away knowing that he lost out on a $70 million deal because one regulatory body stopped him? That's not how Satya got to become CEO of Microsoft, folks. He can look like a nice guy. He can, he can be super, great with his words, and he's a super gentleman on TV and all that kind of stuff. You don't get to be CEO of a $1 trillion company by not having some cold-blooded snake in you. And I think that Satya behind the scenes is going to get this deal done. And if the UK doesn't want to play ball, then Microsoft may not play ball with UK anymore. And good luck, UK. Like Jez was explaining, again, all of their parliament uses Surfaces. Securities run off Windows. Like, this is not a small thing. So I think the political pressure on top of Microsoft's own pressure will get this done without the nuclear option. But I do say it's on the table for sure. 100%.
Yeah. Jasper, do you see that?
I mean, I don't see them like threatening to take away their surfaces and all that shit. Like, I think that's
Satya, like, give that back. Show up to their hearings. You can't use
No,
this
they don't
anymore.
even have to. They just shut off. They just shut off mid-parliament. All of a sudden,
Oh no, massive wide electrical malfunction. Don't know how that happened.
but I think there's definitely alternatives they can look at. Like, even if it's like Activision running independently somehow over there, but everything that's made over here still gets put over there. I don't know. There has to be some kind of workaround that they're looking at. I mean, I'm sure it'll get fixed. It's just how much do they want to sacrifice versus how much do they want to like fight it out and stuff like that. It's just they're looking at those options, and that's what they're doing. So
yeah. It's the question is like, what does that mean? Like, what would be their own self remedies almost to like get around the UK.
Yeah.
And like, is it just like a big fu? We're gonna do what we want and see what you do. You know, like, is that an option? Like, we're just gonna do it and
the thing is, I don't think they're gonna stop doing business there because they have so much money that's just in other sectors there too. This like, it's not about just Xbox at the end of the day.
No, it
Yeah.
totals like $600 million, I think, a year. From all the sectors
Compared
there.
to like
So,
37 other countries, or was it 38 now?
I mean,
I feel like that evens.
I agree overall,
you know.
Jasper. I do. I agree overall that they probably won't go that route because there's got to be other options.
Yeah.
I truly believe there's other options too. So
It'd be suck for UK gamers. They go to turn on their
Yes.
Xbox and all of a sudden it won't turn on. Like,
it just comes in a black screen due to your CMA's decision. We are no longer able to offer Xbox services in your area. Contact your local parliament.
we made
leader.
the joke about that. It'd be like a satellite conflict, like satellite
the whole thing.
network services, like we get with DirecTV or Dish Network and stuff like that all the time. Due to our ongoing discussions with Fox, we're no longer able to provide Fox News Channel to you, everybody. Like stuff like that. It's 3-bit. Like, if they did that, do you think it's a speedier track, or maybe just keep going with the appeals process? What would be?
It's hard. I do know that the 4 required regulatory bodies was the CMA, the EU, FTC, and then China. There's 2 left, right? There's the FTC and the CMA. I don't know what was in those contracts, whether they had some clause that maybe said like, hey, if we pass the majority of these, or maybe one of these decides not to jump on board, here is what we can do, ABC. Or if it's strict, like we can't pass this deal, whether or not like what is required, essentially. What is the required of these 4 regulatory bodies? I don't know. I haven't seen those contracts. But what I will say is, pretty much what Pong was saying, don't underestimate the power of $1 trillion corporation, especially the fact that they can see the finish line. And also the fact that not only is the EU that have recently passed it, but it seems like the government is also sort of questioning like the CMA, not to mention the CAT, which had a document come out pretty recently that was saying to look at other markets to conclude for your decision. Taking all that into account, it's not looking good for the CMA towards the appeal process. So it's not there hasn't been really a case like this for the CAT to completely just deny it, but CMA has made a lot of errors, in my opinion. So the process that I don't know about is whether CAT has to send it back to the CMA, like, hey, you made some errors, change it, or option B, we are overriding this, we're taking over, we're passing the deal. We'll deal with you guys later.
Yeah, somebody
That's the 2 things
brought
I
up a possibility of like, if they like, possibly CAT could like exclude the whole cloud thing aspect, and that would in turn do that. But like, I don't know, man. It's tough questions because I don't really understand.
We
the way
don't
the government
know.
Works there.
Yeah, we don't know, and we get so much back and forth and different answers to a lot of this stuff because there's different thoughts processes, between people. Like there's always
Some
people
people
that think
want
there's
war.
there's workarounds, right? No matter what, at the end of the day, though, I think that they've presented enough evidence, right, to CAT and to Parliament that especially with the numbers thing that we know about with the cloud, right, that the cloud mathematics are incorrect. Like the way they look at that, every single Xbox, Game Pass user is a cloud user. That is completely 100% false. So if that's brought up again to CAT, there's no way that CAT can look at that rationally and say, oh, well, no, that totally makes sense to us. No, because if the EC ruled the EC ruled differently than the CMA based on the same concern, and saw those numbers. And really, when they talked about it, said the way that the CMA figured out was completely wrong, because the way they figured it out, they don't own 70-80% of the cloud market. That's just not a reality right now. So I think that alone could toss it back. And yes, of course, the CMA could still say, no, we're still right here. But I think that at that point, what's happening now behind the scenes is what Jez was talking about today, because this is all political now, and it has been from the beginning. Let's be real.
Everyone has
This
to
has all
look like
been
a winner.
Everybody
That's
has.
what I'm saying.
It's a way to find right now behind the scenes. Everybody's trying to figure out how everybody can walk away from this looking okay, right? That the CMA is not going to lose face. The UK government's not going to look like they pressured the CMA, right? The Microsoft's going to look like they did give in and give some concessions, and everybody walks away like 3-Bit just said, a winner. That's what I think's really happening at this point, is that they're trying to figure a way to undo this knot that the CMA created. So I think that's where it stands now.
Yeah. It's interesting. We could take this marchers idea into something else now. We could march on the UK. What do you guys think? Just march across the ocean.
Marchers are back.
Just all get in a boat, like a big ass boat with an Xbox flag on it. Just sail across and
I'm
get
on a
out
boat.
and just march
I'm on a
on the
boat.
CMA. And just say we want ABK.
No Tea Party stuff. Or?
No. Psycho, is it like what's your percentage now?
This is going through.
Yeah.
Oh, it definitely has increased because of UK the EC passing it, and then China. Those were the two that we were anticipating for to make sure that this goes through. Now, with no concessions remanded from China, so now the FTC really has no case on why it should be blocked other than the CMA, but the EC, their concerns with the cloud as well, but they have remedies for their concerns.
Yeah, and
So
those remedies too, they actually said is pro competition. With those remedies, it actually increases competition and helps
Amazon
the space.
just sort of sweep in and just do 18 million. They just came in the UK and just with 18 million users.
Well, they
with the
launched
cloud,
Luna.
or-
They launched
Yeah.
Luna there finally. Obviously, it was in the
After
works.
Microsoft
It was in the
decision.
works. It
Yeah.
just kind of all came together,
So
right?
the other
But
aspect to the numbers aspect
funny.
is we know and we talked about this a couple times, that Netflix is prepared to launch cloud streaming sometime, and if they just take into amount of Game Pass subscribers exist instead of how many people actually use the cloud streaming, once Netflix actually activates the cloud services they want to do in the future and have some cloud streaming games, which there's articles talking about that's what they're doing and all these things. So it's not this isn't a guess. It's the fact that that's their plan, right? Once they do that, Netflix subscribers make Game Pass subscribers look abysmal. You know what I mean? So there's the number rationale that they have with projections and all this kind of stuff is just completely missing any kind of rational thought process. To make this projection, Xbox is going to dominate cloud gaming for forever if they do this deal and stuff, and it's based on a couple of IPs, a couple of games that they'll have otherwise that they wouldn't have. Meanwhile, other cloud providers like Amazon and the future Netflix gaming will have that kind of stuff, and then who else knows what's going to happen? Is it's grasping at the slimmest straw you could possibly find to have some kind of an excuse to put numbers together to block this deal, and it comes across that way as it was an excuse instead of a realistic actual projection. Whereas they could have just went the EC route and said, well, if there is any kind of doubt, this in place, saying that they'll put the games on any competitive platform, then that kind of erases that concern. It seems like an easy solution. EC's deal is actually going to affect everything globally as well. So really, the UK should have no more concerns. Fuzz, do you think that the EC approval like will weigh into CAT, or is that like not how it works there?
It probably will weigh into it because that's their surrounding competition as far as for the business sector, or for the tech sector. So they will take that into account. Now it may not be give the best result, but I think overall they're going to look at some of the bad math that the CMA used once again, and look at how even China and the EU had already passed the deal with no real concessions other than for like the automatic licensing deal. I think they're going to, just for competition's sake or business sake, they're going to probably be like, just see if you can get something similar or the identical concessions from Microsoft that the EU was able to extract from them and move forward. They're going to receive the pressure no matter what. Their parliament's going to pressure them. CAT's going to pressure the CMA. Parliament pressuring CAT. I think at this point they're going to get closed over. Whether I think it's going to be almost like with the FTC. Microsoft is going to close the deal and then fight the fines and the remedies and stuff like that later. Or just basically, pull the cloud service from that region, at least in the interim, to at least close the deal and then deal with whatever fines in the short term while coming to the table and trying to get things settled. Because I think the CMA messed up when their early findings was showing that they were, focused on console, and they were already, kind of posturing like they were going to block the deal. It always seemed like they were going to block the deal from get-go. And I guess they at some point realized that they couldn't make the console the excuse, considering, it's easy numbers that would show that there's in no way, shape, or form that it could probably harm the current, front runner type of deal. So they tried to use the cloud as the scapegoat, hoping nobody would check their homework or whatever. And it is what it is. But I think Microsoft, I think they're gonna, like Satya said, let it play out, and then by, let's say, August, I think they have to have this closed by, was it June 22nd or something? Otherwise, that $3 billion goes basically to Activision, which will eventually be their pocket to some extent. I think at that point, probably within 48 hours of that deadline, is when we'll hear that they close anyway, and they'll fight the fines tooth and nail and go from there. And UK customers are going to be kind of SOL on, at least on the xCloud end of things. I don't know if it has to go any further than that, though.
All right. Yeah, we saw the breaking news, you guys.
Yeah, so shout out to Calarie sending that to me. The biggest, also FARK you for DMing me this also. There is breaking news that just happened within
You get no credit, 3-bit, by the way.
Yeah. No, you don't get any
credit. I was the first one to post it.
Did you post it? I didn't even see yours.
Yeah. No, it's fine.
I was looking it up.
Right,
I was looking it up while 3-bit was posting it. I was looking to confirm it.
Right. So the judge that's behind the gamer lawsuit, the gamer lawsuit.
Sony hijacked and took over.
The gamer lawsuit. The judge behind that has opted not to issue a temporary block on the ABK merger. That's a double win today for Xbox and Microsoft regarding ABK. This one was expected as well. I didn't think there's any chance in hell they were going to get a temporary injunction or anything to block this deal for this gamers lawsuit, and it makes the FTC's case even look weaker as well. If you want to guess if the FTC would be able to get a preliminary injunction or anything like that, this is kind of a heads up on how that would go, right? Basically the same case, because Sony took this over as well, right? So there's nothing here with the FTC. So again, this just adds to the fire that the only thing really in the way is the CMA. And Xbox, I think, is going to take all these wins and say, you know what? we're not going to let this one regulatory body in this country shut this deal down. They're going to go full force on it.
Did you see the follow up too that one of the gamers already got doxxed out of those documents and his like
most of them did. Right?
Oh, really?
He was gamer number 1, and his name was Ryan Jim. And they had, the news crew actually caught up to him, and he was screaming, "We believe in generations, and we can't survive," as he was closing the door. So I don't know what the hell was going on with that.
Well,
crazy.
You're joking, right?
Yes.
No, it's
Ryan-
100%. It's
Ryan Jim.
Ryan
it's all on a
Jim.
notepad.
Okay. I was
It's all
like-
on a notepad.
I had to put that together. I was like, what? Oh, it's like he would not. This is
That
this can't
explains
be
the
real.
list.
Yeah.
That explains the list,
it-
man.
I was like, what? I was like, what? He sounded so serious. Ryan Jim.
At first, I'm not gonna lie, you did get me for a
I
second.
was amazed Pong was
Then I
able
was
to
like,
hold a straight face on that. That was awesome, man.
I was like,
Oh,
You-
Jesus.
I feel like one of the dumbasses that thought my list was real for a minute.
Is this
now.
real? Source. I was waiting for you to go source.
Source.
I was like, what? You sounded so. You're so serious. It's like Ryan. I remember I remember that the names.
Ryan Jim.
I remember that the names did accidentally get out.
Why is he?
I totally
Sounds
did
so
not
familiar.
expect you to take it seriously. That's fucking amazing.
Well, Pong, you
Oh,
don't
shit.
usually,
Yeah, I know.
I know, man. It's
I don't
different.
know. Yeah.
I'm infecting you right now. I think is what's going on. I'm rubbing off on you. Wait, pause.
Whoa. I don't want that. I don't want that. Caitlin, take him back.
Shout out to the
We love
100
you long time.
191
Ryan
people
Jim.
watching. And if you are watching Ryan Jim, sorry for what's happening to you right now.
Sorry,
You all rock. If you do like the content here, hit the like button to share this out and sub to the channel. $2 super chat from Vik The CLiCK that says, Mav, really? I guess so. I'm
Jim.
gullible. What can you say? You know,
In generations, we believe. Yeah.
Ryan Jim. That's like, oh my
I
God.
mean, you can't feel totally bad. Everyone bought in on the whole fucking dreams that PlayStation was giving them in the 2020 before launch.
Yeah, we're
The
gonna
whole-
probably get another showcase like that this year. I think, from
Yeah,
PlayStation.
I think.
Yeah.
Jokes aside, I think you guys were touching on it last night. Pause about the
rubbing off on, touching on it.
yeah, you know,
Pog's rubbing his nipples right now. What the hell's going on?
I think that the PlayStation showcase might be overhyped once again. Possibly, we might not get a lot of those games that we are hoping PlayStation brings. My only thought is that it's going to be more of a VR, maybe some stuff that we know is coming, but I don't think it's going to be this all out
I think
huge
so.
spectacle. I only say that because Sony loves to go after Xbox. For them to go before tells me it might not be as big as we think it is. I just think it's going to be minor, and then they're going to show off another showcase with all that one ups Microsoft.
Okay, bot.
No, I think this is
It's what it is. This is what it is.
And you also didn't like Guardians of the
think this
Galaxy 3, so
No, I didn't say I
no.
didn't like it. I just it's not.
No,
not the
I think
best
this is the
movie.
time where Sony is playing serious a little bit.
We'll see.
I do think this is their showcase, because if it was a smaller showcase, they would have just did another state of play. This is the first time they're like, okay, this is a PlayStation showcase.
But it's 60 minutes,
they-
though.
More than
60, but you
60.
could fit-
They said
you could fit a
over
lot.
60, Fuzzy. Come
you know,
on.
it did, to
70.
give them
Fit a
credit
lot in
for
60.
that. They had a 45-minute state of play. Like, was it last year? That was really good.
Mhm.
So you can't have an hour show that can be really good. Depends
Well,
on
it
what
depends
the
on how
content
much
is.
time you talk about shit and like how many times like the
Yeah.
head person's up there talking. Just like if they just run through games like pretty quick, you can get
Yeah.
a lot out.
Yeah, if they spend like 30 minutes on PSVR 2, the show's gonna be ass. Okay.
Did you see the article
Yeah.
today?
No.
It's too
I
soon to judge the popularity on VR. Is what
Oh,
Sony
okay.
says now.
Yeah.
Oh, so no. So no, they're not going to
Don't
spend a
count how
whole lot
many
of
we
time in
sold.
VR. They're already starting the language of
Yeah.
yeah. They said, well, no. Of course, they said, oh no, we're going to continue to support it. It's going to be. They're starting that.
Yeah.
That
Now
push,
it's like, we don't know how this is gonna go. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It's too early.
Yeah.
It's too early to tell.
They lessened the manufacturing amount for their
Oh,
VR,
yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
but before it was, I forgot.
And
what
there's
the
been no
numbers were.
numbers. 3-bit is the biggest thing. Whenever
Oh,
Sony
really?
doesn't talk numbers,
Exactly.
you know.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
they
Start
originally,
bundling it.
y'all remember there was like a Wall Street Journal reporter or something originally that came out. It was like, Sony has cut their forecast or whatever of sales of PSVR 2 by like a mil or half or something like that.
Yeah.
And then
It was
Sony was
originally
like-
2 mil down to a mil. or
Sony's like,
something.
no, we haven't changed the amount we're going to ship. We didn't say that. Well, but also, that's not what Wall Street Journal said either. They said you've cut your forecast and your sales projections, and then it came out that they even sold worse than what Wall Street Journal had been kind of reporting on their forecasting and stuff. So, VR, like we talked about, too expensive, too much of a small market, and if you're having a lot of investment on games that are made for maybe less than 1% of your people that own your console, which is the only way to access those games as well, especially with news today that they're saying that they're not going to be putting the games on PC day one. That's a pretty small collection of gamers there to make a big splash, and they can't be making that much money on the hardware either if they are making anything on the PSVR 2. So
They've been taking stuff out of the latest PS5s to make it cheaper so they can make more of a profit. That is definitely a thing, but
yeah, and they raise the prices on
and they're
besides here in the US.
And that's the thing. Like I firmly believe that they're gonna sit and die on this hill of we need to sell more hardware and not put their games day and date onto PC, which does not matter. And at the end of the day, your game is exclusive to that console. PC is not a console. It is a different platform, but it's not a console. And for it to be, it doesn't matter if it goes day and date. At the end of the day, it betters the gamers because that's more money coming in to fund more projects that everybody wants to play. That's why Xbox did it back in the day. That's why PlayStation's slowly rolling it out, but they know their fan base will fucking shit the bed and fucking go pitchforks and torches at fucking Sony.
They don't care about the fan bases. I don't think they have enough port teams right now to.
But they do, Jasper. Didn't you hear the interview? Jim says he talks to the fans and he hears this all the time that they don't want their games going to PC. So
I'm
that's why
sure
he's
they
not doing
take
it.
their word to heart.
Where's Jim talking to his fans?
Yeah, exactly. Show
Where?
on social media.
Where? What fans?
In
Like
person?
like Herman Holst? Hey Herman, you're a fan of PlayStation, right? Hey, what do you think about us putting the games on PC? I talked to fans. They said no, we shouldn't do it.
It's
The
funny because a lot
fans
of people who leave
on
Sony
Grindr.
have statements that people would deem controversial. Like one of the Sony execs was basically saying where hardware sales, console sales don't really matter at the scheme of things. It is the people who stay in your ecosystem. I can't remember which exec said that, but hey, Sony is competing in one way, Xbox is competing in another. Whether that will shift over time, we will see. Whether Sony will be like, hey, maybe we should start putting games day one. Like it's like the generations thing, right? They see certain metrics, they're like, oh, actually, maybe we can access more people doing it this way. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But this showcase, I think, will show a lot what Sony's goals and plans are for the future. But what do you guys think?
I'm just distracted.
I'm weeping for the human race. right now with what Mav posted in the DMs. Bro, again, this is why. If anybody ever asks me why my bar is so low for human beings, this is a perfect example right here. Mav, you gonna read it?
Sure.
read it,
Yeah.
Mav.
So there's
You should read it.
you know, the list I had for my leaked list again.
Jeez.
Oh yeah.
shout out to this guy that said, "Are you gonna believe him? Let's not forget he's an Xbox fanboy because they will say things like this."
Because somebody before him was also being sarcastic, saying says right on it that it's legit. They were being sarcastic, and that was his serious response.
There's a fucking game in it that says,
Oh, that dude.
this
bro,
is
that
this is
guy.
fake, you dumbass."
All right, that gentleman that posted that, he I can't say what he called me, but let's just say he's not a nice motherfucker. And
Okay.
and I'm gonna try to keep my cool because he's a fucking cocksucker, and I will
That's nice. Nice.
Okay.
It's like, you're like,
That's nice.
like, I'm gonna
man.
try to be nice, but anyways.
Right on. Yeah, that's
I'm just saying.
hilarious.
I'm sorry.
Anyway.
Mav, this by far is your best psychology test. Better than
Yeah.
all the other ones that you put out there.
Yeah,
Right?
because
the psychological
they did-
test. This
it
this
proves that they
is the
didn't read the
best.
list.
Yes, this is the best right here. This is great.
Yeah, love it. It's so much awesome
This
stuff.
is why clickbait works.
I mean, I didn't even have to read the list to know it was fake. It's on a fucking notepad.
It's a notepad.
Oh man.
Notepad. Oh god.
Mm.
Yeah, thanks for keeping your cool with that guy, Psycho. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I held back because
Yeah, so
fuck that guy.
the showcase though, let's get this is going to be interesting going into the showcase season because we actually have a PlayStation versus Xbox showcase type situation here. It is spaced out a couple weeks, but it's going to be awesome. I do think that PlayStation is going to kind of step up their game because it's been a while since they had a real showcase. We don't know hardly anything that they have except for factions, Wolverine, and Spider-Man 2 for big first-party games, right? So besides that, I think they got to announce a few first-party games there. They're going to have
Games
some
as a
more
service.
third-party deals and stuff like that. So we don't know what all to expect, but we're expecting a bigger show. So in turn, because it's a couple weeks out, that'll dominate the conversation maybe for a little while. But I think at that point, Xbox is going to kind of have to bring it as well. But they got the games to do it with, according to my list. I mean, that's just going to annihilate everything. But no, for real, they got a lot of stuff that they can show. And even if they showed like 2 of those games that Paris had mentioned during that Phil Spencer interview, then that's really good. Plus also, we know Forza is going to be there. It should. Of course it's going to be, right? It's one of the next games coming out. We know that Starfield is going to have a whole large show dedicated to it as well. Besides that, though, like there's just a lot of questions like what they could have. And with the amount of games that they have in development, there's a good opportunity there for Xbox to step up big. And 12-month thing sounds like it's dead. They're not going to do that again. So that gives you a little bit of a mixed bag with the Xbox show where you could have, the hopes and dreams plus the next 12 months, plus also, your third-party Game Pass Day 1 stuff and everything like that as well. So it's going to be awesome to see both of those.
He doubled down, bro.
Right, he doubled down.
He doubled
Sorry, I was
Oh my God.
listening. I was listening, but sorry. I can't believe he doubled
But this
down.
guy just quote tweeted us. The guy that we were just joking about. He said, "This is all fake. Just some Xbox fanboy made this up."
Oh, wow.
Somebody give
Oh,
that guy
yes.
a cookie.
And
Are you gonna say you got
Deserve a
me?
prize.
Are you gonna say you got me?
No.
Are you gonna say stop being such a pony? This show
do
rocks.
something.
Are you scared, pony?
No, this is what I said. I said, what gave it away? Was it the new IP? This is fake, you dumbass.
Oh my god. But to bring it to your point, Matt, like Sony, this is they better have something good to show after 2 years of not having a show. Like my expectations for a Sony show is actually pretty high because of the fact they haven't had a show in 2 years, right?
Over
And
600
it is
days.
like 600 days since their last
who's
show. So
counting?
they better have something good. Like it better not be what Psycho's saying, like VR for like 30 minutes and like some indies and barely any, my expectations are pretty high for a Sony showcase, but it is nice to have a Sony showcase next to Xbox One. It does bring me back to those E3 days. So it's like at the end of the day that these companies competing is good for us. It's always good for us as gamers when two companies are going at it, because we always end up getting the best from both of these companies. So I am looking forward to both showcases. Looking forward to what Sony has to go, see which rumors end up being true. I don't really believe any Sony
I don't
insider.
think any
That's
list
why
out there is real yet.
No.
I know. No.
I don't think any
I don't
list
really
will be
believe
real.
any insider for Sony usually ends up being wrong, which is why I was even skeptical of the Grub one. I'm like, I don't know, but he was right, and I like took the L, and I'm like, okay, like, dang, he was actually right about that Sony showcase. And then we have is Nintendo also?
They
doing
do their
something?
own thing.
They do their
who
own thing.
cares?
We
So
don't know
I mean,
when
yeah.
they'll be.
Yeah, I don't know about them, but looking forward to both. I think they have different goals in mind. The Sony showcase is like, what the heck have you guys been doing for 2 years? And the Xbox showcase is like, basically like, hey, you're in a certain place right now. People want to see what you got going on. We want to see Starfield. We want to see what games we been missing for the two showcases ago. Like, where are these games? What is the status of them? It's like a status showcase. So we'll see.
What about you, Fuzz? You think that Xbox is going to be stepping it up here?
I it's hard to say. I think they're going to basically answer a lot of unanswered questions as far as updates on, projects that we know are already in existence. I'm hoping that they show a few more that we haven't really seen anything official of, like Project, was it Midnight or whatever from Compulsion and Project Cobalt. Hopefully we get to see Kojima's game Overdose. Release date for Motorsport, release date possibly for Hellblade. But I think the big thing is give us an update on Perfect Dark, Fable, Avowed, Everwild, State of Decay 3, Contraband, and Indiana Jones. I think as far as some of the wild cards that we may see a glimpse of would be something like, maybe a Gear 6. Although it'll probably be early stuff in, Unreal Engine 5.2 or whatever. But I think it'll be closer to their I guess that was their 2021 show, more so than their 2022 show, where, they had a lot of good things to show, none of that, 12-month BS kind of thing. And, go from there. I think there'll also be a couple of third parties there. As far as mixed in there'll be like either day and date or something along those lines for Game Pass. But I expect the show to be somewhere in the 9s overall, but at least in that range. I don't think they're going to show anything that's going to like completely blow us away, because I don't think they're quite ready for that. I think they'll have those surprise drops for like the developer directs and things, but like the more and more I see like weird news from Sony, I'm preparing myself for an underwhelming show for Sony. Like I'm probably wrong, because I'm wrong a lot. I'm thinking this is going to be one of those shows that'll be maybe a 7, and Spider-Man will probably be their biggest draw.
The thing
as far
is,
as,
though, with Sony compared to Xbox, is Sony's a bigger surprise. They have more surprises because we already know a lot about Xbox stuff. So, like, when it comes to like the surprise factor for a lot of people, it's always going to go with Sony, because they always stay quiet on what they're working on a lot more than Xbox does.
But
So
the
I
thing
think
that's going to be funny about that is most of your Sony fans aren't really about that game as a service life, even though that's going to probably be a lot of their surprises. And we already saw how they reacted to that Horizon surprise. So I totally expect that not that everything will look like a Fortnite type of game, but I expect some moans and groans on a lot of the games as a service that they show. I mean, they'll have some interesting things. They'll probably appeal more to Xbox fans than they will to Sony fans. I'm gonna put that out there. Other than possibly factions. Factions will be a draw. I expect that to be there. If it's not there, it's a serious L. But Astrobot VR, other than the people capping for it because, the controller, the DualSense. Yeah, I think people are going to say that that's, a big deal when it really will be like maybe a lukewarm reception on it. Twisted Metal reboot would be nice, but still have my doubts on that. But like I said, after seeing how people reacted to Horizon looking like Fortnite, I'm preparing for a 7 out of 10 show, or maybe even lower.
Ooh, okay. A shout out to Alvin, who earlier, sorry I missed this one, hit with a $10 super chat. Bro, appreciate you so much. Said, due to recent events in the past couple weeks, my belief in the deal has moved from 100% all the way to 100%. Huge flux. Yeah. Due to recent events, there's no reason not to be at least equally confident in the ABK deal as in the past. And shout out to Back from Dead, member for 24 months. And oh my gosh, I see this is the first time I've noticed this. He's got the first black pearl style member badge on his name for 24 months, bro. I appreciate you back. Nice. I've been there from day one. He says, been funding Mav's animal cracker addiction for 2 years. And Back, thank you so much, man. This is for you, bro. I'm gonna have a couple animal crackers just in your name for you funding my addiction here. Appreciate you, bro. 2 years, bro. It's funny to think that we had that 2 years ago now. It's crazy. Time flies, guys. Holy shit.
Yeah, goodness.
I am addicted to animal crackers.
2 years.
So good. So good. All right, guys. So
tastes like cardboard.
Alvin hit us with another $10.
Alvin
said if Xbox updates us on everything we know about, still isn't half the 30 to 35 games they usually show. Xbox will have lots of surprises. Also, Ghost 2 confirmed no show. No Bloodborne would kill show for me. No Bloodborne show? Yeah. Put too many animal crackers in my mouth.
I don't know if we get Bloodborne just because they have some other like Souls-like games that are coming out. It's like to Sony to show off like 3 or 4 of the same type of games, like.
But I think third-party wise, Armored Core 6 is more likely to be at the Xbox show because they've been tweeting about it and stuff like this, right? So that's a big From Software game. Are we going to see more than one big From Software game at the showcases this year? That's the question.
DLC.
Elden Ring DLC would be big.
Yeah,
and
at
that,
Sony Showcase.
And that could be at Sony Show or at Summer Game Fest.
Right.
Because they've done a lot with Keighley at his award shows and stuff for Elden Ring as well. Right? So... but
hold on, the biggest, you can't ask Mav this because he eats the wrong animal crackers. Animal crackers are supposed to taste kind of like graham crackers, but you got to get the ones with the frosting on them, and then they taste like a cookie with frosting.
No.
The ones that Mav eats are cardboard, so his don't count. So don't buy plain animal crackers, okay? Whatever you do, the biggest, if you're gonna go try them, get the ones that are frosted, please. Sorry,
is this
important announcement. Stop.
Stop
promoting your garbage.
They got to be iced.
That's such bullshit. They don't need these are like
iced is the best.
Natural greatness.
Right the pink iced ones are the best.
Yes, pink iced.
Yes.
You know, like sometimes
I can't eat the pink ones. Not
what?
The pink ice.
Get off the show.
Sometimes a chicken nugget is so good you ain't got to dip it, right?
We'll work on your metahuman.
No. Now, I think I want to see SOCOM at the Sony showcase. I want to see. I know it's a long shot, Twisted Metal, but we'll see if Jeffy gives up. I don't know if he has the rights to that or not. If Sony has it, but
pretty sure
it's
has it.
And I don't know how good Metal Gear Solid will be, just because of Metal Gear Survival. That game was pretty bad.
Psycho, they're remaking, so they don't have to change anything.
Well,
let's make it shiny.
I know it's still Konami, but listen, they're not going to mess with it because it's got Kojima. They're not going to do it. They know they would kill the sales if they F with it. It's too much. So
Well, I just hope we'll
it's an
see.
easy
but
remake. It's an
What
easy
about
money
that-
maker for them. That's all it is.
What
it
about
will be,
Project
but
Awakening.
Yeah, that Project Awakening looks awesome.
yeah, that looks pretty good. But
I
don't
think
know.
the big game to look out for Sony show is whatever Ben's studio is working on, because they're supposed to be using a lot of like the tech that they use behind Days Gone, and it's not Days Gone 2, but it's a lot of tech, the open world system and stuff like that behind it. So whatever they're putting out, and they've been working on it for a couple of years, so we could see that be a big
Yeah.
surprise.
They're a support studio now, aren't they? So
They're
They
making a
were-
game. How are they a support studio?
Well,
were
they might be
support for,
helping.
what do you call them?
Oh yeah, I did hear they were helping.
I
Was
mean,
it
every
Naughty Dog?
Sony studio is helping each other, so it's like I don't know, but Days Gone or not Days Gone, but Ben's studio is making a new game. So
They
it's
are
like,
they
it's-
are making a new game. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, they
Okay.
are. Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Caitlin, you're killing me. Caitlin, you're absolutely killing me. She just called out Mav. So you're right, though, Caitlin. The ones that Mav eat are made for toddlers. Yes.
Sometimes I
let's-
just leave them in my mouth and let them dissolve.
Oh God. Hey, why don't we social some support and let's help funding Mav with some singing lessons so he can get some better raps in.
Oh, and now I feel scorned. Okay, this animal cracker stuff. You know, you can talk all you want about that, but you start trashing my flow.
No,
Your
no.
own wife is, okay? Oh, anyway, sorry, we're sidetracking the show again. Here
Yeah.
we go.
Yeah, I'm trying to have a discussion about showcases here, guys.
Are we going to talk about the Xbox showcase?
No, this is an Xbox show. We don't talk about the Xbox.
Right.
Yeah. It's
Oh, no, I'm trying to segue.
That's the last-
I'm trying to segue,
gotta-
guys. Come on.
Just to be clear, that last question I asked to the panel was, is Xbox
wasn't
going to
there.
step up
Yeah,
their
I know.
game?
And
wasn't
everybody
here.
talks
Kept
Sony.
going back to Sony.
I wasn't here. All right.
We've turned it into one of those shows, everybody.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
Xbox
brothers.
podcast, so we have to talk about Sony. For a Sony podcast, you have to talk about
Yeah,
Xbox.
talk about Xbox.
That's how it works.
That's how it works.
I don't make the rules.
Don Sicario says I got bars.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Shot
Yeah.
Thanks, Don.
Okay.
Yeah,
There's one.
got some bars.
You got one fan.
All I need is one.
One person in the crowd. That's all you need.
I'm available for private concerts.
Wow.
Saying,
Wow. Only fan
What
concerts?
kind of
it's going to be available in PSVR 2
Just eats
exclusively.
crackers on the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Naked.
It'll be called Mav the Cracker Eater.
Wow. Don't do that. Don't do that.
You
Mav the
used up all
Cracker
your creative
Eater.
juices, obviously.
I know.
What the fuck? You're on empty right now.
I'm on empty.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mav the Cracker Eater.
Yeah.
Hold that line. bro.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm an
Okay,
animal
Let's talk. We can talk about
cracker
Xbox.
eater.
So yes, Mav, Xbox is going to step up their game. They are coming to play. They're coming to win this year. They understand the importance. They understand of what last year did. They understand of the ramifications of being quiet for a year and a half, having a showcase last year that you promised 12 months you were going to have a bunch of games, and a bunch of the big ones didn't show up. Some of them your fault, some of them not. That they know what they have to do. You could see it in Phil's face during the interview. You could hear it in his voice. They're coming to play this year. They're going to give us the updates that we wanted. They're going to surprise us with some new stuff. They're going to get back to a regular showcase. It's not going to be time limited. They're going to sell us some hopes and dreams, but they're also definitely going to let us know what that roadmap's kind of looking like. They're not going to give us, release dates again. They're not going to go down that road, but they're certainly going to let us know what the roadmap's going to look like through this showcase. I believe firmly that this year is more like, this year will be more in line with what we were all talking about last year. What we thought last year's show was going to be. This year's show will be that show or close to it.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it's going to go. And it's going to be topped off by Starfield, so it doesn't matter what they do. It's a win.
Exactly.
They win.
Yeah. I see them definitely coming up and showing off, coming off of Sony showcase, having some surprises. Phil did mention there's games that we have not seen or heard about
Yeah.
that were going to get shown. So that is a big plus. So I wonder what those will be. Plus, we're also they'll give us the best of everything with the roadmap of here's what's coming down the road. Here's what's in the near future. Here is in the horizon that we're just started to create third-party deals. Now, will it be timed exclusives? I don't know if they will do that, but they could be on the aspect of just doing marketing rights, and this way that gives perceives the people get that perceived notion that these games are exclusive when they're not. It's kind of like how Sony does it in that same aspect. So I definitely see great positive things coming out of the showcase. Last year was just did not hit well. So 2021 was a showcase they need to strive and do better, and I think they will. I do think that they will. They might show us like games like Hellblade 2, possibly like giving us a new trailer, and possibly we might get some future Xbox developer directs as well. They'll give us like little hints of something, like if Hellblade 2 is coming, we'll expect a Xbox direct. If it's Avowed, they'll probably give us some gameplay and maybe a developer direct announcement. They won't give us, because if they give us Xbox developer direct announcement dates, that they're not giving us an actual date when the game come out, but it's something to look forward to with more information, and possibly sometime around that time period, maybe a couple months, it could be coming out. So I could see something like that coming out of this showcase.
Yeah, I hope so, man. I'm thinking they need to have like four big games, right? Like 4 big Xbox exclusive titles that either we've heard about before or new announcements, right?
Well, you got Fable, Forza, and Starfield. You just need one more.
Well, Starfield's not part of that show. It's separate, right? So
Well, I mean,
Starfield
it's
ending
gonna like be right after.
yeah, but they're dedicating a whole big time slot. So if we look at the last 2 shows, we're both 90 minutes, right? So with the last 2 shows being 90 minutes, they both had like over 30 something games, and that included third party stuff, indie things, and there's a lot of that. So you probably have like several different types of games within there. You'll have updates on,
ESO, Fallout 76,
stuff like that.
Sea of Thieves.
No.
What was that?
I don't know. I heard like a lull, I was in a
It's a
cradle eating my animal crackers, and there was like one of those things like going around.
Animal crackers.
Yeah, I was like in a cradle, and there's like one of those
So
things.
you admit animal crackers are
Yeah, it's like a lullaby.
It was 3-bit cell phone. It was Xbox. Like Nixie on Nixie.
What?
Vic,
It wasn't
code
even
talk.
Pig Latin.
It's code talk for not talking about what's coming out. That's all.
Okay.
Vic the CLiCK with a $5 super chat says, Mav, you evil genius. I went on your tweet, and wow, I won't say his name, but Dave, do better, bro. Wow. How long have you been holding that joke, Mav? I won't say the name, but Dave. Yeah, it's freaking hilarious.
I think my biggest thing I'm wanting from a showcase is I just want to see how many surprise games we're going to get, like all the project code names. Like how many of those are we going to actually get, like real names and trailers and teases for?
I mean, maybe I'm low on that 5 bar. Maybe it could be
I
like
was
10
thinking
of
like
those
4, to be honest. Like Xbox usually doesn't blow their load that strong. And
Whoa.
Whoa.
well, I mean, okay, so look at 2021, right? They had Redfall, They had Forza Horizon 5 was revealed there. So those are two big new game reveals there. They had Halo Infinite there, right? And what else did they have that was like bigger games that was first party at that showcase? Did they show
Starfield?
Yeah, okay. Did they show Starfield at that? Yeah, they showed Starfield at that show, didn't
because
they?
that's
Yeah,
it was
that's
the
right.
20 it was the we had the 2022 or
Okay.
11/11/22 date.
So that's 4, right?
Yeah, usually they only stick to like 4 or 5. They don't really go too many,
I'm trying
like
to
out of their
remember
big project names.
what else they had that was like big first party that year. Now the year previously, then 2021, they had like Perfect Dark, I think like Fable, Everwild, Forza Motorsport,
Contraband.
No, Contraband actually was in the 2021 show, so that's another one for 2021.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you just said 2021.
No, we're back to 2020.
Oh,
Um,
2020.
Yeah, so
Halo.
2020 was also Halo. Yeah, they showed Halo at that and 2021. So they did have more of those reveals in 2020 than they had in 2021. But at 2021's show was highly regarded as much better because they had a much bigger mixed bag of things, right? But I think what they're gonna do here is, maybe I was wrong about the 4 to 5 because it got so damn much, and even if they update us on the ones that we previously know about,
that's
that
4 to
doesn't
5
really
updates on the ones we know, plus the 4 or 5 new games.
Right.
So it's like,
so that would be like
would
maybe 9 or 10 big games. Like I don't know, it's possible.
Yes.
That's why I'm saying I don't think we get 10 new games out of them.
No,
I
not
think we
new
only-
games. I'm just talking about
Yeah.
big games,
Yeah.
right? At the show. If you could look at Phil
I'm gonna
Spencer's
say 12.
comments, 12 big games, 12 big like Xbox property games.
Yeah.
So let's say, okay, so let's count those up. Let's try and come up with 12. Like Contraband, Avowed,
Avowed, Everwild, Fable, In Exile, Compulsion,
Forza Motorsport is going to be
Forza
there.
Motorsport. We're at 7.
Starfield, you can't really count that because it's part of the second thing, right? Hellblade
All right,
2.
So here's the 12 I predicted.
Yeah, Hellblade 2.
Forza Motorsport, Hellblade 2, Perfect Dark, Fable, Avowed, Everwild, State of Decay 3, Contraband, Indiana Jones, Project Midnight, which is Compulsion, and then
that's
Project
11.
Cobalt for In Exile, and
That's
then
12.
Overdose for Kojima.
That's 13.
Oh, I counted wrong then. I'm
I
sorry.
don't know if Kojima's gonna be here because I think Death Stranding is his next game, and
Yeah.
he'll probably show that off at either Sony or the Keeleys.
Listen, Debbie Downer.
If that fuzzy show happens, that's an insanely good big show, right? That
Yeah.
will melt people's faces. You'll
That's
probably get a
13.
mix of CG and gameplay with those trailers, different kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
I really would love to see State of Decay 3, but I don't think it's going to happen yet.
I think we get an update, but I do think that game is like 2025 range, or maybe even 2026. Like I think Fable and State of Decay 3 are around similar timing. But like Kojima's game, I think that hits before Death Stranding 2, because Kojima's game was in the cloud game was in development before Death Stranding 2. So
Yeah, but Fuzz, he said it was going to be a long time at the Xbox thing before we saw it. He said it was going to be a while. So
Yeah.
I think this is something out there. This is something experimental. So
Mhm.
I think that's the only reason why I would push back a little bit and say Death Stranding
Okay.
will probably be ready
Yeah.
before. I could be wrong, obviously. Nobody knows
Overdose
what the
is
hell
like Todd Howard's
Kojima's gonna do.
Starfield. Kojima's been
Kojima-
waiting on some
Kojima,
shit.
yeah,
to, like-
Kojima could launch
Yeah.
Kojima could launch 15 minutes of a game in pieces, right? And call it genius. So we don't know who the hell knows at the end of the day. But that's the only reason why I'd push back a little bit on that. That's all.
okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to OCD Gamer member for 4 months. Says, I'm special and I have a special chat. Thanks for using
Okay. OCD.
your special chat message to say you're special, bro. Appreciate
Yes.
that. Yes, you are special, man. Appreciate you.
That's awesome. That's fucking awesome.
Splitting difference with the $2 super chat says we need 3 bits tidbits, just insider knowledge. Right. I did tell the guys we were going to do this at some point. So this is the time. All right, so fellers, this is the time where we ask 3-Bit a question that he can't answer, and we're all just gonna stare at him, and stay
You gotta
silent.
lock his screen. You gotta lock his screen.
And we're
so
gonna
he
stare at him and stay silent. We're going to look at his reactions and try and guess what's real and what's fake up here at this time. All right, so 3-Bit, here's the question. What is going to be at the Xbox showcase?
I don't know.
Was Cowboy
This is a
Eight-Ball Indiana
podcast
Jones?
full of fun speculation. It's your time to tell us your thoughts on what's
It's
going to
gonna
be at
be
the
a-
Xbox.
It's gonna be a lot of games.
Cowboys. Is that a new game? Eight ball Cowboys.
Well, we have to
Or
stop
Cowboys
speaking. This
versus
is
aliens?
3-Bit's time here, so we all have to.
So what was the question?
What is Xbox going to show at the Xbox showcase? 3-Bit.
They're gonna show some Xbox games. Easy. Bam.
You got any names for those games?
All right.
No, he's not done yet. We have to stay silent. It's not enough. You have to fill you have to fill 5 minutes of time at least.
5 minutes of time. There's gonna be some Xbox games. They're all gonna be. There's gonna be some different genres for sure. Different genres of different games. We might see Phil there. Maybe Sarah as well. I hate you guys. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got. I don't know anything.
Still got about 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
Any shadow drops?
Shadow drops.
Oh man!
Yeah.
Wow,
Maybe.
that's what we're looking
Maybe.
fuzzy. Okay, hold on. We're changing this up. We're no longer going to stay silent. We're just going to throw random shit at him and see what his reactions are.
I
Okay.
thought that's what we were doing before. but-
Okay. Well, no, I was just going to try to put the pressure while we stare at him, but like Fuzzy's on the right track here. Now, it would be interesting if Ubisoft had a game at the Xbox showcase. Would it?
Yeah, it would be.
Would-
guess, yeah.
Would it be interesting
pretty-
if Splinter Cell finally showed up at like an Xbox show again?
Yeah. It would be
What's a
pretty
no?
interesting.
Okay. It would be interesting if Indiana Jones was at a show.
Indiana Jones.
That's a yes.
Yeah.
He's terrible at this. It's so bad. He's
Oh
so
my
terrible.
god! All right, he's too bad at this. We can't actually do this because we're actually gonna get him in trouble. Okay, sorry about that. All right, we'll move on. So
So terrible.
so yeah.
We don't know. We don't know.
I wonder if the runtime is going to be 90 minutes to 30. What would you think, 3-Bit, for the Starfield Direct and the showcase part? Would you think it would make sense for them to do that?
For what?
You know,
For a split like that.
it's
90
2 hours
minutes and
show, 2 hours total, right? Would it make sense for 90 and 30? Or do you think it'd make more sense to do like 45 for Starfield, hour 15?
Maybe Xbox Showcase being 40 and then
Xbox Showcase
Showcase
40 and Starfield an hour and 20. Let's go. Let's go. They did this for me.
no idea.
Let's go.
I have no
You just
idea.
made
I
Pong.
don't know.
Show- They're showing off.
I don't know.
Oh,
I have no idea.
They're just
Hear that,
showing
chat?
off.
Hour
Oh,
20 of Starfield.
Okay,
This is going to
What
be
I said.
freaking amazing.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
How long was the last showcase? The 12-month one?
90 minutes. And so was the one the year before. Like a little over 90, roughly.
I think Starfield 30 and then that 90. That's what I think.
So where did the 40 come from, 3-Bit?
No, I don't know.
That was a really random number to throw
Yeah.
out there, 3-Bit.
Yeah.
You meant to say 40 Starfield, an hour 20 Xbox? That's what you meant?
I
Interesting.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Come on,
Yeah.
come on.
So let's see. That probably means 10 minutes of Howard, Todd Howard going over stuff, and then 30 minutes straight gameplay kind of thing.
Yeah.
Mav, Game Forte wants to know what we're talking about.
We're just trying to crack 3-bit, which is pretty damn easy.
Yeah, we've already done it.
Like,
Listen,
for real though,
there's going to be.
He's led us astray before with this stuff.
You think?
No,
Yeah.
he hasn't.
Except for that one time.
At one time, yeah.
The big white whale that he told, and there was nowhere even in sight.
It ended up being a big white tail.
Yeah.
But not
I
really,
didn't-
because
I didn't say
later
anything.
it got
Okay.
announced. So
Just
it
saying, I
was
didn't say.
it was real. So I gotta say, there's just joking aside, there's things that 3-bit knows that he can't tell anybody, and so I wish that we could find out. But you know, he's good at keeping it close to the vest, and 3-bit is Fable going to be there?
I'm out.
Okay, all right, sorry. Okay,
Si
moving on.
habla español.
I don't even know what a fable is.
You know what a fable is?
No, I don't know what that is.
So yeah, Xbox I think is going to bring it this year. You know, I think PlayStation is too. I think it's going to be amazing. Summer Game Fest. Now, Xbox had no real appearance at the Game Awards. Do they actually show up to Summer Games Fest with something? Like, or are they just done with KhAoThEory? Because it was kind of weird watching the Game Awards last year and they had like really no big game, but they still sponsored the show.
Last year at Summer Games Fest, we just got some small Game Pass announcements.
At the Game Awards, though.
Oh, at the Game Awards?
Yeah, they didn't have anything at the Game Awards.
You said Game Fest.
No, did I? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, at the Game Awards, they had nothing. At Summer Game Fest, I don't remember what Xbox had. Summer Game Fest was kind of weak last year in general.
Yeah, they had Game Pass. They had the shark robot game announced there, whatever, Routine, I think it was called.
Bots.
Right. So overall, like, KhAoThEory's replacing E3 this year, though, or he's just trying to. He posted that picture where there's like all these publishers taking part in it and all this stuff, and he's really trying to make this into a big show. So I think this is going to be bigger Summer Game Fest than we've gotten in recent years.
What's the point of replacing E3 if you're just gonna have E3?
Well, that's true. I mean, he's kind of acting as like almost like the third party show in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, Ubisoft is doing their own show, which hopefully we see Splinter Cell there. Crossing my fingers, right? I bet we'll see.
Be more specific on Splinter Cell though, because it could be Splinter Cell Mobile again.
No, I think this is the time they will finally show it and reveal it for real, right? But the X Defiant will probably be there because they put that energy out on this update that they had today. Like, look for more on it real soon or whatever. So there was that. I feel like the Ubisoft show is going to be kind of somewhat predictable. Avatar, Skull and Bones, maybe, Heartland, stuff like that.
Heartland was missing from the list, but they did leave a spot listing for a big game. I think that was from like their investor call or something like that for games releasing. So it could be their Star Wars project that was coming after.
Well, I mean, even if it's
Avatar.
not releasing this year, they could still show it.
Yeah. So
It was crazy, like during the E3, like, we regret to inform you that E3 won't be a thing, and then Jeff Keighley's just like, but my Game Fest, like, yeah, that was pretty petty. Not gonna lie. But,
So between Summer
Hey,
Game
at
Fest and Ubisoft, third party stuff, right? But I think PlayStation will have something there.
yeah.
I just don't know if Xbox. I don't know whether to expect them to be there or not because they have a show 3 days later. It's hard to predict that.
I think if Xbox is going to give him anything, this would be my hope, just so people don't complain about seeing games like Sea of Thieves at the showcase. Give KhAoThEory the DLC or whatever content update for a lot of the games. So if there's a Halo content update, like season 4 or season 5 or whatever, put that there. Sea of Thieves update, put that there. Maybe another State of Decay 2 update, give him that. But leave the main showcase for all the new stuff as far as like new games as opposed to content updates and stuff.
Right.
I seen like people post about the Halo season 4 update. I wasn't sure if that was official or not, but apparently it's going to have like an infection mode.
Yeah, it's supposed to also add ranks, kind of similar to Reach, where you get like emblems for each rank, stuff like that. But I know
like cross progression or cross core finally, so you can like mix match armors for the first time.
Yeah, I know Sketch. I think Sketch. It was someone at 343 came out today and said that the network is not going to change. It's still going to be shitty, laggy network multiplayer. So.
Shout out to John Yim in the chat earlier. He said maybe movie and or TV show announcement. Like you know, they do have the Gears and Fallout coming around the corner, so it's not like crazy to think that could happen.
Well, Psycho brought up a good point today in the DMs, because Colt used what I believe was probably AI generated, but maybe not. But Colt posted a picture of a Starfield, artwork, and it had an anime flavor to it.
It looked like the Starfield art that we've seen before, but it looks like he may have went to the AI thing and said, "Make this anime
style."
Yeah.
But to Psycho's point, and and Psycho, if you obviously it's yours because you posted the DMs. You got me thinking.
Yeah.
Bethesda with Fallout 76 TV show, like they really could, because Psycho said, "Well, what happens if they're doing a Starfield anime?" And I said, "Well, maybe they'll wait. Maybe they'll wait to see. Give Starfield, let Starfield release, and then see how big it gets. Obviously, we all believe it's going to be gigantic, but let's see how big it gets, and then they do an anime." But then I was thinking about it more, Psycho, and it wouldn't be a bad idea, and it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility with the way that transmedia is now, and everybody's seen what these shows do for games. That could be part of the marketing, that they could have a Starfield anime short. Even if it's let's say it's like a 3 episode series or something, to promote Starfield, like that would be gigantic. And I actually think that's a fantastic idea that you threw out there, Psycho. And I wouldn't doubt that maybe we do see something like that. To what's his face's point from the chat? Excuse me, I forgot. Maybe we do see some transmedia at this show. I personally, I don't want to make a big deal out of it. I don't want to hear a whole lot about it.
About that.
Yeah, I don't want to hear a whole lot about it. But if, like, let's say end the Starfield Direct, and Todd's like, "Hey, and if you can't wait to see Starfield, if you can't wait till September, guess what? We've got an anime short series dropping in August. Can't wait to show you more," and then show a short teaser. Like, that wouldn't be a problem for me. Like, that'd be pretty damn cool. So yeah, I just thought that was a great idea. When you said that, Mav, it kind of sparked my thought process from Psycho's tweet today. So,
I mean, with these other shows, I mean, it's possible that they could have something. I don't think it would spend a lot of time on it, like before when was it Kiki Wolfkill would come out there and like, let's talk about all this Halo movie.
No, you know what? Let's have Donnie D come out. Let's have Donnie D come out and do his TV.
We're reintroducing the Xbox Snap feature, and
for those of you that love our games that can't play them, just go buy a TV. You can watch them now.
Yeah.
We've got a TV
what
for
a
you.
tragic era.
Shout out to Biggity08, hit us with a $5 super chat. Appreciate you, Biggity. He said, "The Game Awards isn't a game showcase. Why do y'all expect that?" The Game Awards.
The Game Awards are. That's what everybody watches them for.
Yeah, the Game Awards are a huge game showcase.
It's not an award showcase. I mean,
it is.
But,
they have awards there, but it's mainly like for the reason people watch it is for big game reveals and big trailers and updates on big games. And Xbox the previous 2 years had big showings there. They showed Hellblade 2 there. They've shown
they announced the Series X.
Yeah, they announced the fucking console.
Yeah,
they've
shown Perfect Dark there. They announced their console there. So it had been come an expectation for Microsoft to have something maybe decently big at the Game Awards, which they chose not to have anything last year, which was a little strange, where other companies did have big stuff there, right? So the question that I was posing is, is that the new routine for Xbox, is kind of not doing things big at this at the Keighley shows, right? There is also, Xbox has Dev Directs now, and we know that they had the Dev Direct coming, right? From the Game Awards was in December, and they had the Dev Direct in like January, right? So they could also have, Xbox could have another Dev Direct in, let's say, August or September.
Hellblade 2.
Yeah.
If that's going to launch, they'll have one for that for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I think that it's something that I would actually expect later this year to have a Dev Direct. And I don't know how many to expect going forward, like per year, but I feel like they thought that was extremely successful earlier this year. And whatever games we don't get big highlights on at the Xbox showcase, we may have at the next Dev Direct. Like, then maybe they do it right before Forza comes out, and they show maybe Hellblade 2 because it's in the next quarter potentially, right? And maybe they have like Avowed or something else. And but the question is, would it happen before or after Starfield's release? Because if it's before Starfield's release, you would almost expect Starfield to be added again.
But the thing is, like, since we're having a Starfield Direct and we also had Forza the last Direct, do they double down and put those games in the next Direct? Like, I don't think they would, because they've already had their talk about it. So, like, you have Hellblade potentially, maybe Age 4, but that game's already been out. So does it need a Direct? Probably not. So you're looking at just Hellblade pretty much.
They could show up the Age 4.
Do Age 4 for console.
Go ahead.
I could see them.
Yeah, I could see them talk about the enhancements they did for Age 4 for the console again.
Yeah,
it is kind of a big deal, but I see your point, Jasper. Like, do they need to? I don't know.
They'll just do the Forza monthly for that, since it's already had a Dev Direct. It's running a little bit behind schedule. They'll make a big to-do on Forza Monthly, which is on YouTube and Twitch. So it's all focused on both Horizon and Motorsport. And they'll probably wrap up their last content stuff for the 7 and focus on Motorsport releasing whenever, just probably within 2 weeks of that, Forza Monthly.
Yeah, maybe so. Shout out to Biggity08 again with another $5 super chat. Appreciate you. Says, well, that's your fault for expecting games when they didn't announce them. Don't blame it on Xbox. Blame ourselves.
What the heck are you talking about?
What?
I don't even know what you're going on, but
trying to start something.
At the Game Awards, the Game Awards, I feel like was kind of, if you were there to see stuff, which had become sort of like a thing where people know that stuff's going to be there. You're there and you hope to see something, and sometimes they don't have stuff, and it's like, okay, well, that's fine. The Game Awards were still great, and you just didn't see a presence from Xbox, which for me was a disappointment from Xbox's side. And it wasn't necessarily, oh, that sucks for me. It was more so like, that was a missed opportunity potentially for them. So that was the criticism came from, that they had an opportunity to show stuff on a big stage, yet they didn't. And a lot of people maybe thought it was because the ABK acquisition, and they were kind of toning a lot of the stuff down.
Yeah. Their lack of presence was really felt.
It was all put it this way. It was significant enough for them to make the announcement within a week or so that they were doing a Dev Direct.
Right. And Greenberg was out there saying, you're not going to have to wait long to see something from us, right? He was out there instantaneously because, and that it's just big. And Biggity08, I don't know, how long you've been listening to us, but if you've been listening to us for a while, it's a part of the bigger conversation that we had the previous couple years about their marketing, right? And about what Xbox needs to do. And one of the things we talked about was a direct style show, and that wound up being true. But at the time, right, when the Game Awards was coming, we hadn't had a direct style. We didn't know what it was going to look like. We didn't know they were going to have something like they did. So we were still talking about, well, the Game Awards is just a missed opportunity from a marketing standpoint, because it's the biggest game show going around with the most eyes on it. And you can say it's the Keighleys, you can say it doesn't matter, you can say all that, but the reality is tons of big games outside of Xbox are announced there for a reason. because of how many eyes are on that show. It's just another marketing opportunity that we felt Xbox missed out on by not taking advantage of, like they had, or we had seen them do.
Yeah, it was strange.
They announced the
And
Series
remember,
X there. Yeah.
this was hot on the heels right after some other bad news had come out
The delays and
with the delays and stuff like that. So based on that news that had just happened, you know, Phil's sitting there and everything, and the camera was shot to him, and there was like this look that kind of was like, he's like,
was it FTC just got blocked right before that or something?
I don't remember.
I can't remember what it was, but there was some like really bad news like right before the show.
Yes,
like,
it
the day
was
before.
because everybody was surprised
FTC
that Phil even showed
Yeah.
up. I think it was the FTC.
Yeah,
The announcement. I think it was.
which turned out.
So-
I mean, it's, at the end of the day, that was it. But like, there was this weird
still.
energy going on because he was sitting there. Then they didn't have anything at the show. But the camera cut to him a few times. And it's like, okay, this is strange a little bit, you know, especially the presence that they had the couple previous years at the Game Awards, and without also a lot of games that are nominated because of the year that they had for 2022, which kind of added to that, right? So based on like, you didn't have
Sony.
you didn't have a lot of stuff there for in the nominations because you didn't have a big first party release year. You know, they were there mainly, I think, for As Dusk Falls as well to support that team. And then they
also
didn't
Phil's the board member. On
and
the
he
Game Awards.
he shows up
Yeah.
and he's gonna support stuff. So they had the Game Pass trailer, like the commercials for sponsoring the show, right? And then they didn't really have like a big game again, which was strange when you had this show you're watching and it's PlayStation Award, PlayStation Award, PlayStation Award, PlayStation Award, interview with PlayStation person, interview with PlayStation person, PlayStation Award, reveal for PlayStation, reveal for PlayStation, reveal for PlayStation, and then cut to Phil Spencer right on the camera. So it just kind of added with this culmination of like kind of what 22 had become for Xbox, right?
One trailer, and it was a controller.
Yeah,
I believe.
When we've kind of felt they had an opportunity maybe to kind of flip the script on that with a big announcement, right?
But
so,
obviously they had other plans, and that's why Greenberg came out
and-
right afterwards and said, "Hey,
as
don't
you'll
worry
see
about
us
it."
soon." And the Dev
Soon,
Direct absolutely killed.
Nailed
so
it.
that's why
exactly what we asked for.
And that's 100% why I'm asking this question about it. Is that the expectation now with the KhAoThEory type shows?
And Ray Old was saying they pointed the camera during Crash Bandicoot reveal, which was
yes.
Yeah.
I don't think so, Mav. I think that Xbox still appreciates KhAoThEory's position in the industry, and I still think they see it as an important piece. I think now with the Dev Directs, you know, and how they've got things lined up, it's all going to depend year by year what they have to show there. If they've got something to show, I think they'll show up. I don't think they'll shoehorn something in. I think they'll save it for a direct if that's what they're going to do. But if it fits timing wise, where they've got something kind of in between that they can go ahead and bring to the KhAoThEories, I think they will do that. So I think they'll be more selective because they don't need to use the KhAoThEories as much as they used to. Now that they found a format that works, that they can do, quarterly or whatever the case may be, whatever they've got. So I think that it might be more selective at this point than it used to be. And to go back to your original question about a direct in the fall, I was just thinking, and it kind of lines up with exactly what you said. You said August, September. You know, QuakeCon is in August, the 10th through the 13th.
So is Gamescom. That could be their Gamescom show.
So is Gamescom as well. You're right, Jasper. But what I was thinking about is a game, if id has been working on a Quake reboot, and we don't see it here, but they want to surprise, the fans, QuakeCon, right around that time to have a direct and have a surprise game. I'm not talking Shadow Drop. I'm not talking about it's ready to go.
Yeah.
But I'm saying announce it as a world premiere at a Dev Direct. Man, that would be huge for the Quake fans. And right around that time, it'd be perfect timing to have a direct to do something like that.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
And shout out to Biggity again for gifting 5 memberships.
Oh,
bro.
Biggity. Awesome.
Appreciate you, man.
Hey.
And then Vik The CLiCK hit us with 5, says, and I'm out to the bar, guys, and I'm talking about the good one, not the type that Mav raps. Again, dissing my bars, yo. What's going on here? Hold the line. Come on.
Make sure you put Xbox Ultimate on speaker, Vic. Put Xbox Ultimate on speaker while you're at the bar so everybody can hear us. Let's go.
And then Biggity08 with another $5 super chat, man. You're awesome. Appreciate you.
And memberships.
Said, would y'all rather Xbox have their own showcase or join with the Game Awards? You can't have both. The previous 2 years, they've had both. So
yeah, I think you can. It just depends how much you got in the pipeline.
Yep.
That's what it depends.
Depends on their plans. You know, they got.
I'm cool with as many directs as they want to do. If they keep that format, and Phil talked about it during the interview and said that, hey, we found a format that works and we got great reception. Keep doing that, Xbox. I don't care less.
And a big presence at the Game Awards may equate to one big game trailer.
One game, yeah.
You know, like you don't have to go all out, but like you can have like one big game trailer there, and it makes a huge splash. Perfect Dark was the talk of the Game Awards after that.
It was.
They did that. You know what I mean?
The Series
they
X
announced
announcement
their
blew
console.
up the internet. The Series X announcement blew up because remember they hid it from Keighley, and Keighley was pissed. Remember, you could tell that he was annoyed that he didn't know that was what was coming at his own show. That was crazy. That was crazy.
And shout out to Jay Rembert with the 5. Shout out to you, Jay. I appreciate it. Says, do you guys think that Xbox sees Keighley's tweets and his love affair for PlayStation? He was one of the main guys against the ABK deal. I'm sure that they do. The thing is that regardless of how we feel about Keighley's like completely blatant biasness that he can't hide, even if he tried, and he doesn't even really try, they still see the audience that he has. Which, if you think about it from like a marketing perspective, right?
I know where you're going.
A lot of people that are Xbox owners and in the Xbox ecosystem are going to watch the Xbox showcases. They're going to watch the Dev Direct. Okay, if you don't give a shit about Xbox, you hate it, or you like, I think it's trash, you think or whatever, this narrative that they got no games or all this stuff. If you ignore them, it's not part of your ecosystem. You will be still watching the Game Awards potentially because you may be a fan of Nintendo. You may just be a PC gamer. You may be a PlayStation diehard or whatever. And there could be an opportunity where there's one game that's shown there and you're like, holy shit, what the fuck is that? That looks amazing. And I got to get that. And then it says Xbox at the end of it, right? So that's the point of being at the Game Awards, which has a much larger audience also than any Xbox shows put together, really.
And more normies watch the Game Awards than the more casuals watch the Game Awards because they're aware of it. That's why E3 was so important. That's why I argued for E3, is because E3, the name E3, drew in such a mixed audience. It wasn't just us, the enthusiasts, or the prosumer, as Strauss has now labeled us. Prosumer is now our name. But it wasn't just that. Sure, those people were at E3, but the people that tuned into IGN, you got a lot more casual audience as well tuning in because that was the time everybody knew, oh God, maybe I don't pay attention all the time, but I'm going to pay attention during E3 because big new games are going to be announced. That's why E3 was still important, I thought, as a presence. But the Keighley Awards do a lot of that, like you just said, Matt. And that's why I do think it is important.
And a conversation we had back in the day after they acquired Bethesda ZeniMax was how were they going to possibly have enough shows to be able to talk about everything and market everything properly. And really, to be honest with you, up to this point, they still haven't done a great job with that because we still have all those games they announced in 2020 that we haven't gotten any updates on. And so there are all these fake narratives out there about those games that we don't know what's going on with them. So people make shit up and people like come to their own ideas and thoughts like, and who knows exactly what's real. And we would know more if Xbox would share that stuff with us. So that's just been an ongoing criticism that we've had. Now Dev Direct is one of the solutions to that, right? That's just one answer to that issue. Then there's the showcases that they got to deliver on. Then there's also a big opportunity shows, right? Like the Game Awards. And then in the future, even after ABK, they'll even have more. We could even take advantage of things like QuakeCon to have big reveals at QuakeCon. You can have, which they're probably not going to be this year, but maybe next year, right?
Yep.
And BlizzCon in the future for Blizzard games. You could have the Call of Duty League once the ABK deal is done. You could have big Call of Duty and other Activision or other Xbox game kind of announcements and advertising at those shows. So there's going to be a multitude of ways that's going to be open to them to showcase all this stuff. And just discounting one show is like not the answer, because they can do stuff at every show if they put the effort to want to do that. It's just up to them to choose where they're going to use their resources and their budget and the time on making trailers and where they're going to show what to put. And that's it seems easy to think about it, but I guess it's not. You know, like for me, I would try and be at every single show possible, have a big game at every single thing possible, because you want to be present everywhere and you want to get your name out there. You want to let people know this is Xbox is a place that has badass games and this is where you want to go to play them. Any missed opportunity like that for me is a miss. But they don't always see it that way, and that's fine. But you know, the Game Awards has a huge audience, and so does the Summer Game Fest. So there's gonna be a lot of people watching that. So I'm curious if they show up to it. You know, the thing's different with this. You know, it's 3 days before the Xbox show, right? So they would have to knowingly not have something at their show because they want it at the larger audience at Keighley's show, right? So question is do they do that or not? And if they did, what would it be? My guess would be Perfect Dark again or Hellblade 2. Because they kind of tend to show some of the same things at
the
Keighley's
Game Awards or
events.
Game Fest?
At Game Fest this year.
I don't think they give one of the big ones.
No, not one of the big ones.
I think they hold that for their show this time, this year, especially with knowing that they, you know, again, they're coming back in a big way this year after last year. So I think they will hold all the big stuff. I think a third party could show up there, a third party deal. Some Game Pass deals could certainly show up at Summer's Games Fest. If they couldn't fit something in to their own show, they give it to Keighley. You know, that kind of thing. I you know, maybe Mav, if they've got a release date, a new release date for Silk Song, they would give that to Keighley. Because a lot of fans of Silk Song in general will be watching the Keighleys just because Silk Song is going to be multi-plat, but you splash it with Game Pass at the Keighleys and announce an actual release date for Silk Song because we know it was delayed. Something like that I could see being there.
Yeah.
What do you think of like possibly something like Indiana Jones because of the amount of eyes on like let's say a Games Fest kind of thing?
If it's
considering the movie,
if it's multi-plat, Fuzz, yes, I could see it.
Do you think it's going to be multi-plat or do we think it's going to be exclusive?
That's the $1 million question, Buzz. I don't think anybody has a good handle on which way that one goes. If the deal was signed prior to the ZeniMax deal, if that was, you know, if they kind of did a package deal with Disney, then obviously, you know, they could probably go back and renegotiate, but would Disney want to renegotiate? Would Microsoft want to renegotiate, or would Microsoft
take the risk of losing that IP?
Yeah, I
mean,
I still lean multi-plat,
right? You know,
yeah,
so
right, but that's also because of the movies. Sony has bargaining power more, so you know what I'm saying. So so I would lean multi-plat still on Indiana Jones right now.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I don't know.
It's possible.
I have no idea.
Maybe they get Harrison Ford to come out with an energy drink and be like, "Hey, by the way, check out Indiana Jones movie and the game coming out." You know,
but
I know.
IGN just gave the Indiana Jones movie a 4. Yeah, IGN just gave the new Indiana Jones movie a 4.
Yes,
out of 10.
Yes, yeah, it's getting crushed in Rotten Tomatoes. It's getting crushed right now.
Wow, that's disappointing. And the trailers, it actually looked pretty good.
I thought it looked great. I thought it looked really good. But supposedly, it's the CGI stuff is not good.
Really?
Like the deep fake for
they said they said in stills it looks great, but in motion, no.
They must have used MetaHuman.
They used 3-bit. 3-bit. Were you working on Indiana Jones?
Maybe I was. What you gonna do about it?
I wonder if if that movie does flop and gets shit on, you know, would hurt the momentum for like excitement over the Indiana Jones game at all.
No.
I
People
mean,
will
I
try
think
to spin it that way.
Indiana Jones has as much hype as it's ever going to get because it's been 40 years since we've had a think about with it.
Here comes the Gen. Here he comes, showing up, the young guy. It's a
Yeah.
boomer IP.
Hey, I love
Everybody
Indiana
wants it.
Jones. I love Indiana Jones,
Yeah.
but I'm just like,
His favorite one's probably
if-
Kingdom of the Crystal
I
Skull.
know it too.
Listen, if the game shows well, that's all that's going to matter.
Yeah,
because
that's true.
everybody loves the Tomb Raiders. Everybody loves the Uncharted. Everybody loves that style of adventure, treasure seeking. So if the game shows up and it looks great, it'll still be a big hit. It doesn't matter what the movie does.
Yeah.
My opinion.
I hope we see it this year. I mean, I think there's a good chance, you know. Would that be one that would be at Summer Game Fest though? Maybe. I know we've talked about this, but
Okay,
I know.
okay,
But,
okay. I want to make sure.
No, I know.
This wasn't a Mav moment where you heard
No,
it.
I know.
You're subconscious.
I'm just trying to
You're
think.
like, oh, that's a great topic.
Is that too big, or is it because it could be potentially a slight chance that it's multiplat? Maybe makes sense to be there. It's interesting, and I don't know what game they would hold for it. Maybe they don't hold anything, and they just kind of skip the Keeleys again. You know,
Xbox has a good problem to debate which game goes where.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm fine if they skip the Keeleys this time. They're 3 days late after that. You know what I mean? And if they do, then people will just know they're holding out for their own show. You know what I mean? So it'd be a completely different energy than like the Game Awards situation where it's like, what's going on?
Would you do like a Game Pass splash of all the games coming to Game Pass, and then announce the family plan at the Keeleys at the Summer Game Fest?
That would be nice.
You could what if Silk Song and stuff
right.
like that could be
That's
there.
what I just said. Yep, that's what I just said. Yeah, so do something big with Game Pass, and then hey, we'd also like to announce that we're doing family Game Pass, like to that wider audience. Maybe that's something you do there. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah,
maybe so.
ABK deal's closing by then, right? Or technically, isn't it supposed to close by June?
It depends on what they do with the CMA, and I think like there's a late June deadline that they would have to renegotiate by, right?
But there's like a hard deadline, and then isn't there like an appeal deadline as well?
Well, there's a deadline for the contract with ABK, and then there's a deadline with the appeals process. So there's different things, right? The appeals thing should go through probably this coming week, I think, and then the deadline for ABK for the closing is like the June 22nd, I think, is around that time or something. I don't remember the exact date.
It's somewhere around there.
Yeah, and they would have to at that point renegotiate or find a way to close around the CMA by that time, right? And who knows what's going to happen. That's why this is going to be interesting, because that's not long after the game event, the big showcase. So this next month is going to be nuts. Absolutely nuts. Because all this stuff going on with the CMA and the ABK deal is going to be happening in tandem, like timeline wise, as these showcases, right? So I'm pumped for the next few weeks. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna cover as much as we can.
I got a weird prediction.
What's that?
It gets the block gets overturned, and then they close over the FTC, and Twitter explodes saying that's unfair. They didn't go about it the right way. It's not official. Stop the count kind of stuff. Where people will be like, oh, they had to Bogart through it or whatever, and it'll be like 2 weeks straight of people crying and complaining about Microsoft being mean to the CMA and whatnot and going over their heads kind of thing. I just see Twitter being a pool that you want to avoid after that happens. But I'm thinking by end of June, that's what we hear. Cat comes in and is like, hey, there's some mathematical errors. There's some other stuff that, we're hearing from Parliament that could put our economy in jeopardy. We're overturning this, and we're going to go ahead and, push this through, and people are going to lose their minds.
That If that happened, that would be insane. What if it happened like the day before the Xbox show? Like just the day before? That would be insane. Could you imagine the amount of hype and excitement would be around the Xbox brand the day before that? Like Xbox, like, hey, we're closing the deal, and it's like, holy shit, now showcase time. You know, like that would be insane.
Yeah.
Long shot, probably. But
Yeah,
we'll see.
but I just get this gut feeling that's going to happen because I see Twitter that would be a typical Twitter response kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the typical Twitter response is basically like Bethesda games don't count too. It's like,
but they count when it's Redfall. So do they count or do they not count? Like I'm just curious.
They don't count when it's bad, but it counts
when
it
it's
doesn't
bad.
count when it's
Doesn't
bad.
count when it's good.
Counts, yeah, exactly.
The discourse around Starfield alone, whether it's a good showing or not, that's going to fill up the airwaves for 2 weeks. If you add ABK stuff on there on top of it, and then whatever else they show in the showcase, the next month is going to be.
People are going to be dissecting whatever they show from.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter if it's the greatest showing ever. We're still going to have massive discourse in the community.
Oh, did you see that little glitch in that little tweak there? That game.
The media is already starting with Starfield. Like it's just,
dude.
This is everything we.
I was talking about like good stuff. People like, oh, you could do this in Starfield because they showed that. It's like,
the watermelons in Starfield.
What you should do.
Yes, and we'll be having good conversations about it. But it's just this is what we're starting to see already around Starfield. Already kind of goes to show, and I think I was talking with Fuzzy and PTK in the DMs about this. It goes to show you the power of the Bethesda game because it's starting to set in week by week that Bethesda's A-team is launching a brand new IP and it's exclusive to Xbox and their ecosystem. And it's starting to finally sink in that this is happening because, again, people forget how big these games from this team are, and it's starting to set in on people, and people are starting to starting to lash out a little bit, starting to say some crazy things, starting to talk about it more. And after the direct, it's going to break loose. The dam's going to break loose one way or the other. It's
Xbox last chance to sell a game.
Yeah, it's going to be nuts. It's God. This is the power, though. This is the power. This is why we talked about it as a game changer. Yep.
We need a gaming media version of The Onion so they can be like, this game didn't cure cancer.
Isn't that
Kotaku?
Kotaku. There is one out there. There is an Onion gaming media site that does crazy articles. There really is. I forget what it's called. But yeah.
The Game Rant is
Push Square.
Kind of like
Game Rant. Well, Game Rant. Game Rant jokes on themselves every time they write an article. So
that Metro one as well, the Metro one in the UK. Yeah,
Metro.
It's kind of. I mean, they're not. None of those are actual parody sites, but they might as well be, right? Because they're the most garbage, smutty shit I think I've seen lately.
They're like the Inquirer and.
They'll be like, you can't pet the crab dog. 5 out of 10.
I'm sorry, Psycho. Did you not see Men in Black? The Inquirer is 100% true.
Oh yeah, that is true.
Well, yeah, I mean, even Game Informer though, like with High on Life, they spent 2 paragraphs almost talking about one bug that this guy experienced with High on Life and gave High on Life a 5.75, and then they gave Jedi Survivor a 9.25, and then didn't talk about any one technical issue. You know,
the latest patch is the game's even worse for me now. So,
oh, awesome! I'm glad I finished it
for Jedi.
Already for the patch.
That's great. Yeah, Jedi actually keeps crashing for me. I would rather not even talk about it on Twitter because people are like, well, it's not for me. I'm having a fun. And I'm just like,
that's why I'm just waiting. It hits Xbox Game Pass, so I don't have to spend my $70 to try out the bugs with everyone else.
And I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but Sirve says in the chat, Zelda 30 frames per second still gets perfect tens. You know, and people are like, well, it's because it's the Switch, and it's like what they have to release it on. So it's, you know, but that's also Nintendo's fault for having the Switch, right? So,
but it don't matter. You don't even need a new Switch.
According to GameIndustry.biz, you don't even need a new Switch for Christopher Dring. And I'm like, wow, we're just gonna play on that thing forever. Okay, fine. You know, I guess.
He
Same two
loves-
double
Need a new
standards
cell
are
phone
pretty.
from
He
like
just
10 years ago either.
loves. He just
Yeah.
loves the taste in his mouth. That's all.
Of the Switch.
Okay.
While
Yeah.
he's using the while he's using his iPhone 4.
Yeah, as he licking the iPhone jack hole.
What are you on right now? What are you talking
Wait,
about?
he
Oh
did
my
take
God,
he did
that
take a break a
sounds
while
so
ago. It's starting
bad.
Yes,
to
I
kick in.
did.
It's starting to kick in. Okay.
What?
Mute Psycho.
Okay.
It's party time, motherfuckers. It's party. Let's go. It's almost 1 a.m. Let's fucking
It's like-
let's do this.
randomly
It's
talking about
12:17.
randomly talking about licking stuff and like and holes and what do you
It's
think
what
this
that guy
is?
likes to do.
Uh,
Xbox Ultimate. We're talking
Psycho
about
licked the
games.
toad is what he did.
He makes. I mean, he's not always horrible, you know, but like
Oh, Psycho?
No, Christopher.
Yeah, you're
Drake.
right. You're right. Every once in a while he's cool.
Christopher Drink. Yeah, Luis Jose
yeah,
says,
Christopher
"Don't
Drink-
do
I don't know.
drugs, kids." He's got some weird takes, right? And he has some bias.
Who's Psycho?
No, well, yes, we know that.
Dring.
Yeah,
Listen,
Dring.
listen here, Jasper. Don't make me come over there and talk to your mother.
Oh God.
Okay, good luck with that.
So, like, he has like some good journalism where he does interviewee type
No,
things.
I
and
feel like
some
a lot of-
reports. But a lot
I
of
think
his
he's
stuff,
biased.
well, he makes some really bad ones as well, right? Like that tweet was like, I don't know, that's ridiculous. And then he's had things before where he's criticized Xbox for making games exclusive to their ecosystem and not the same for PlayStation. Much like if you caught my solo stream a couple weeks ago where I read that article from GameIndustry.biz, talking about Xbox and the Activision Blizzard deal, how like they had completely like they should just abandon it and get back to just buying exclusive games like PlayStation does. Meanwhile, criticizing Xbox for trying to acquire games for the ecosystem, and then praising PlayStation for purchasing games for the ecosystem.
And that was Rob Fahey.
And that was Rob Fahey, Games Industry.
He's been around for a long time too.
Like it's just like some double standard stuff, and I've been on a kick about exposing that stuff lately and things like that. But like it's there's a lot of that out there. Now, not every article some of these guys write is bad, and sometimes they do some good work. But yeah, some weird takes, especially when everybody's happy with Zelda right now. It's awesome. I'm happy if you're loving Zelda, and I know it's a great game, and everybody's loving it. It's fantastic, you know. But to just act like you're just okay forever with playing on a device that was outdated the day it came out, and it's been what, like 6-7 years,
Or not,
6 years
take
now.
Take that into account of a review. I don't know. It's like
it's hard. It's hard to because like it's not the game's fault, but at the same time, it's still a Nintendo game, and it's Nintendo's fault for having the device that it's on, and it is regardless of how good the game is. It is not up to current day standards with technical aspects of a game as well, right? Whereas
but
other
that's
games get
like
criticism for that.
Comparing like Vampire Survivors being like, people gave that like 8 and 9s out of 10s. Like it looks like a fucking NES game, but just
Vampire
stuff
Survivors
really matter.
has like a million things on the screen. It's also technically really impressive besides that, but also it's 4K 60, right? So like it's
Yeah, it's an interesting conversation to have because you're just like, if you're going to mention in one review that Redfall isn't 60 frames, but then in the same context have Zelda, and you don't mention the fact that it's like it's basically 30, it's a similar map, etc., then I don't know.
I'll still defend that because Nintendo didn't market their Switch as a 60 frames powerhouse. Or
Sure,
120.
sure.
You know what I'm saying?
100%. Yeah.
The current gen consoles, that's what they were marketed as, right? That's what they were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
The Switch, again, you can say I called Nintendo's geniuses because they set the bar so low expectations wise by using that old of a hardware that yes, they get the favorable side of this. but that's because they never promoted their machine as anything but what it is. So
That's like the most powerful.
Yeah, you're right.
You're 100%.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm not saying they need to be that.
Right.
I just want them to be more than they are.
Oh God.
Like Steam
All right.
Deck level.
All right, next topic before Mav goes on his Nintendo rant. Let's.
I see Forte. I want to debate
It's not
with
a
Forte
console.
right now. The Forte, we got to have a one-on-one debate sometime
Yes.
about Nintendo, man. I know,
Yes.
like here's the thing, Forte, for GameStop, for the sake of GameStop, I want there to be a Switch 2 because they're going to sell a shit ton of them, okay? And new games because they're going to resell all the Switch games again. It's going to be amazing.
Stores would
GameStop
be
stock's going to
completely
go
packed.
through the roof once the Switch 2 gets announced. That'll be good. How many Nintendo fans are going to celebrate when a new Nintendo device gets announced?
Right now, they're not celebrating because they're like, "Oh, I'm fine with my
Yeah,
Switch."
but
as
let's
soon
say
as you get a Switch
tomorrow.
2
Let's say tomorrow they announce a new Nintendo device. How many Nintendo fans are gonna?
I mean, they
jump for
literally
joy?
bought
it would sell
cardboard.
out. It would sell out in like 5
Facts,
seconds.
Jasper.
So
Yes,
why
and
do
they
I get
do-
so much
like Justin.
kickback saying that people want a new one, a new device? I
Because
get
it wasn't their
Because
idea.
because you're slandering it in the way that you do it.
Yeah.
Am I? I'm just
Yes!
pointing- Okay.
Everybody has seen your rants at some point here, Mav, about Nintendo.
I mean, I feel the exact same way. But that's because of what I care about. What I care about
Yeah.
is like graphical fidelity, certain genres of games that Nintendo's not going to go for. Certain games don't run on the Switch either very well or at all. So the developers choose not to put games on the Switch. There's a couple of reasons why I personally don't like the Switch very much as a console. But in terms of the games on there, there are some really good games on the Switch. But I'm all about frame rate, resolution, playing multiplayer. Guess what Switch kind of sucks at? They kind of
I
suck
think
at multiplayer.
Nintendo
kinda
also
sucks at-
sees their platform as more of a toy that you buy separate parts for. Like I don't think they see it as necessarily like a game device. I don't know. It's weird. Like it's just
Yeah.
the Nintendo model is so different. I don't know how to like.
And I'm also not super nostalgic with a lot of the Nintendo games that people are. And I could sort of distance myself. Like I love Mario, I love those games, but like I can sort of distance myself from them, if that makes sense.
I will be day one on that shit. I will eat it
Make a
up,
Switch
bro.
2, 4K 60, I'll be there. I'll be there day one.
I sent Forte a link if he wants to come give me shit. If you want to come put me in my place, bro, there you go. I know sometimes you randomly hop in and stuff, so I don't know if you're available or not, but I appreciate you. And I can see I'm upsetting the man. He said, "My God," he said, "Y'all killing me right now."
Y'all killing me right now.
Yeah, the Switch is a great
It is.
handheld device from 4 years ago.
There should be no reason why I need to go on an Xbox to be in a party chat to play a Switch game. Like the freaking party chat on the Switch is
Well,
terrible.
the reason is because Nintendo didn't have an infrastructure.
That I mean, yes.
The Wii
Yeah,
had
maybe
more.
there's
Just
a couple.
relied on Discord or something.
The Wii had more console
Yeah.
features than the Switch. It did.
Yeah. It-
And it's bare bones.
We're basically just baiting Forte to jump in here.
I'm
Like,
trying
come
to.
on, Forte.
Yeah. Hey,
Switch
Forte,
sucks.
the Switch sucks ass, and so does Nintendo because they force that shit down Nintendo gamers' throats that don't know how to ask for better. Come get me, bro. Come get me. You sell that shit, you probably make $500 on every $300 Switch you sell because the thing is so shit and cheap. They probably $295 in profit for every Switch sold. It's made out of old iPhone parts. They didn't figure out how to put an Ethernet jack in it till they raised the price because they made the screen bigger, which had no more console improvements. $50 more for that horse shit. Are you kidding
To
me?
be fair, the Wii U didn't have one either. I don't know if the Wii did either.
Yeah, but that was
Yeah.
previous gen. We're talking about how old now? I mean, come on. You know, like let's and not only that, the Switch Wi-Fi sucks ass too. It does.
Yeah.
The Switch.
When I
Wi-Fi
first
sucks
got it, I
ass.
literally had to go stand by my router to fucking update it because it wouldn't like connect to my room.
It does. It sucks ass. The Switch Wi-Fi sucks ass. That the menu system is slow because the operating system on it sucks so much that like there's like input lag between like moving left and right on the device. I mean, I'm just saying, like,
I love Pong's expressions.
20 frames per second. Cool. Let's go. Yeah, 2023 gaming forever. We don't need better than that. We don't need better. We don't need better than a blurry ass image on a big screen. I can't even read the fucking text in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 on my fucking brand new game. Was this? I understand retro gaming. You know, you want to celebrate. Hey, but you play these old games. You're back in the 2013. You played these games at 30 frames per second. Hell yeah, I did back then because that's what they were. And guess what they are now? It's 2020 fucking 3, man. We're not playing nostalgia shit. We're not retro gaming. We're buying new games at $70. Paying more for a device.
I play Halo 2 like every year. That's a retro game now.
Paying more for a device than an Xbox Series S.
That repeatable grass texture on Pokemon. That didn't do any. You gonna like that, man?
You gonna sell us Mario or Zelda collection for like 3 months and then pull it from the store? You're gonna Disney Vault your fucking games now? Is that what you're doing? Huh? All right. We'll see.
So wait,
Mario
when you buy
Sunshine
it,
was
you
dope.
can't play it after the 3 months.
No, they just sold the physical disc for like 6 months or whatever, and they pulled the disc. It was the Mario like Super Collection, whatever. It was Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, Mario Galaxy 1. They sold it on the Switch, but you could only buy it for like 6 months or something like that.
I forgot about that. Yeah, they took up the store. Wow, I forgot about that.
Mission accomplished. The man is here. We did it. We got him here. I was hoping you'd get pissed off enough to join us. What's up, Forte?
What's up?
Listen, I'm up here trying to edit a video, and I'm sitting here like, want to take my headphones off and throw them against the wall. I'm like, what's really going on in here?
Well, I saw that you were getting a little agitated, so I just had to add a lot of fuel to the fire.
I was trying to do the same thing you were doing. I was going to be like, I'm going to see if I'm going to force him to send me an invite if I keep saying I'm agitated. Y'all crazy, man. Leave Nintendo alone, man.
Hey, it's Xbox Ultimate. We got to do what we got to do. Yeah.
Talk crap about the PlayStation. The other thing. The other one that's comparable to the system that
you just want Nintendo to like sneak under all this.
I just want Nintendo to be Nintendo and just be Nintendo. That's all I want them to be. I don't want them to be nothing else but Nintendo.
Forte, you want to switch too?
You said what?
Forte wants them to be the Switch forever. Do you want them to? Do you want a new Nintendo device?
Yeah, you want to switch?
Yeah, I want to. Who doesn't?
That's Christopher Dring. Christopher motherfucking Dring.
One of the new Nintendo devices 2018.
See, that's all I'm saying, man. We're on the same page here, bro.
No, Nintendo. No, listen. I want them to pass 155 million before they give me a new device.
Ooh,
what are they at? Like 150 now?
No, they're at like 130.
All you got to do is buy 25 million consoles.
I already did my part. I bought 6 Switches over the course of the over the course of the lifespan of that system.
So have I. I just sold all of them.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
I kept trying.
Why would you do such a thing?
Because I couldn't read the font on Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
You're missing out on the second best game of ever created.
I'll wait until they resell it to me again on the Switch 2.
Wait,
no, then you'll complain.
You
And then you'll complain
best.
about
What's
it.
the
And then you'll
best
complain about it.
No, it'll be nice.
The thing is, with Nintendo, they don't ever update their games when they come out. It's just like the same shit, so it's still going to run at 20 frames.
That's true.
Man. Not like this.
Oh shit! You're right.
Not like this. Not like
they
this.
just resell it.
Not
do
like
you think
this.
with the Switch 2, they'll bring over like backwards compatibility and stuff like that, or do you think they'll just start from scratch?
I think they'll bring backwards compatibility.
You think so?
I think they're going to stick with the same form factor that they now have. They're not going to do I don't think the next Switch or whatever the next system is going to be a completely different format. I think they're going to kind of go forward because they did with the DS. They went from DS cartridges, then they had the little hook on it for the 3DS, and I'm like, why'd y'all do that?
Yeah.
Just so people can't put 3DS games in a DS. That's the only reason you added that little hook on the end of it.
You know,
and then with
Wii
the
U
Switch,
was,
you added more.
Wii U was back compat to the Wii, but it didn't really work out for them very well. But
Well, that's because they named it wrong.
yeah, they could have named it something else.
I mean,
Yeah, that was bad.
I mean, I thought Microsoft had bad naming conventions. That one took the cake.
The Wii U is a better console than the Switch
In what matter?
as a console, as a device.
In what matter?
And what mattered that it had back in
Mav doesn't consider the Switch a console.
It has better.
I know that's what I'm gathering.
It
here.
had compatibility with the Wii and all of the Wii games, right? It had the virtual library for that. It had the Miiverse.
Okay.
It had all these things, right? And the only thing it was missing was the games, which
and there's in the games are still missing.
Right, because they came out with the Switch and they've made this Wii U games on the Switch. They like Mario Kart 8,
the games
Zelda. Then they just ended.
Well, those same games was on the Wii U. What happened then?
They already moved on. People knew they weren't going to be making future things for that. And guess what? The
No.
The Switch was mainly successful because it's a handheld game.
No. Listen, no, Mav, come on now.
Let's
Come
go.
on, man. Listen. As I stroke my collector's edition.
Oh,
box,
I thought you're going to a psycho place here.
Okay. As I also stroke my Tears of the Kingdom Switch box, and
now as I stroke,
as I also stroke my Tears of the Kingdom Pro controller. Let me stop. I spent way too much money on Zelda stuff. Let's be for real.
You can resell that for the same amount of money. Or more.
Oh yeah, the controller. I even know. I'm not even going to open this. It's going to stay sealed until it goes up to like $170, and someone wants to give it to me that much money for it. But the problem. Okay, so the thing with this, with the, do you even consider the Switch a console?
I consider it a try to be console. There's
no try.
It's a handheld. The Steam Deck is more of a console than the Switch is.
What the fuck?
You can plug your Steam Deck.
Don't you gotta buy an external adapter to make that work like a cradle?
Yeah, but if you don't get the one that comes with the Switch, you have to buy one anyway on your other TVs.
No, because you can't. Because the one that doesn't come with the dock, that Switch can't hook up to the TV at all.
So
if you're buying a Switch to hook up to your TV, you're going to buy the one that can do both.
You can play Steam. You actually have like a friends list.
Do you have a friend? Last time I looked at my Switch list, you have a friends list on it too.
So it
might have a social security number for the login on it, but it's still a friends list.
You can talk to people through Steam. You can.
I can talk to people through my phone.
Okay.
Everybody can talk to people through their phone.
Actually, you could actually talk through natively now.
Like,
you don't need to have the phone app no more.
There's just.
Oh really? Oh wait, yeah, because they needed the phone app to.
They needed the phone app before. Yeah, it was stupid.
Let me ask you this: does the Switch come with a real, actual controller?
Does the Steam Deck?
No, but we're asking. We're asking about the Switch here.
But you said you could use your Steam Deck on you can hook it up to your TV if you go out and buy a dock.
Yeah, you can't.
But that means you have to use it. That means you have to use external input device in order to play your Steam Deck on your TV, right?
Right, but here's the thing: like you can.
Doesn't the Switch come with two controllers that you can put on a controller dock to actually use it separately?
Yeah, those little chipmunk ass things.
But does it come with it?
It comes with it.
And we're talking the most stingy company ever that wants to charge you for everything, and it actually comes with that.
Like I
right?
said, it's a try to be console. So like they're trying. So
try to be. Okay.
The Wii and the Wii U were more of a console than the Switches.
The Wii U couldn't go 5 feet away from the screen without it turning off.
Yeah, because it was a console. It wasn't a fucking handheld device that you can take anywhere the fuck you want to go.
Are we gonna?
Right?
All right, so you got to give them their flowers though.
Yeah, they deserve a lot for ripping people off.
Nintendo made the conscious decision. They made the conscious decision to say, wow, our handhelds have sold well more than almost 200 million copies of handhelds between DS, 3DS, Game Boy Advance, and all those other systems.
And the Switch.
No, not even, no before. No, that's before the Switch. We're talking about just everything before that. They were like, okay, the Wii U was a test bed for what the Switch is now. Like literally, that's what the Wii U is. It was literally saying, oh, here's this thing that we can take anywhere in the house, and now they're saying, oh, now you know what? Let's just marry the two together, and that's the way that everything's going to go. And guess what? 130 plus million systems later, we still got people like Mav over here saying that the Switch ain't a console.
It's not. It's a handheld device that you can dock. To me,
so you and do what? Play games on what?
You can play blurry games on a big TV.
Oh,
because it's,
well, I'm not going to disagree about the blurry things. Tales of the Kingdom is it's an ugly game, especially if you're playing it on a TV.
Are you playing on a TV or are you playing on the handheld?
I have about 18 hours in, and probably about 6 of it is probably like 5 of it is 5 of it's on the TV. The rest is handheld.
You know the crazy thing about the Steam Deck when I was playing it is, this was a great controller for the Steam Deck.
I know what a better controller is.
What? The Wii U Pro controller? Oh, I knew you were gonna whip that out.
As much as listen, as much as I want to say this thing right here, this piece of engineering marvel.
As
much as I want to say this thing was great and I can't put this controller down, I always tell people, even at work, this is by far the best wireless controller that has ever been made. Ever.
Does that work on a PC?
It does.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it is. I've used Wii
Joy-Cons
Pro
even work on PC.
The Pro controller is a good controller. I think the Wavebird was my favorite Nintendo controller.
The Wavebird, well, I mean, yeah, if you like that.
For the time, the GameCube
that
stuff,
style
right.
of controller, absolutely.
But for real though, like the Switch to me is a great device, it's just dated now. Like I just wanted them to come out with a new one, and guess what? The new one will be more for me because it'll have more power within the operating system.
No, because then because then it's still not going to be the Xbox or the PlayStation.
No, I don't need it to be that. No, I don't need it.
It's still not going to be that because guess what? Listen, we got to remember the goalpost is going to be moving on this. So whatever games this system comes out for, when they do a Switch 2 or whatever they call it, however long that's going to take, that system's already, especially with it being a portable based system, that system's already going to be 2 years behind.
Yeah, but there's
when
like
it comes out,
there's like a time, there's like a big gap right now. Like, and there's going to be a gap, but the gap is to me bigger than it's ever been before.
Well, yes, 2017,
right? And it's not just that because it's the kind of device that it was when it came out in 2017, right? So it's like the gap is larger than it's ever been before. They don't need to be Xbox. I don't want to. I love
but
Nintendo,
want them to have graphics, but you want them to have
I don't want them to have Xbox graphics. I don't want them to have PlayStation graphics.
What do you want them to have?
I want them to have the Nintendo games that come out on the actual Switch, those style games, but not be blurry ass shits on my fucking TV. That's what I want. And I want them to potentially run 60 frames.
Let me ask you, Mav, when you went from the Wii U, did games start looking worse when you went from Wii U to Switch, or did they start looking better?
They look the same.
They look the same.
Yeah,
they did look the same.
I actually can't remember.
They look the same. Yeah,
but for the next Switch, I would be happy, and I'm pretty sure this is where they're going to go with the performance, akin to an Xbox One to a PS4.
Yeah, that's what the next system's going to be. That's where they're going to go. In a handheld.
One X.
Yeah, but the thing is, if Nintendo goes with NVIDIA, they get better technology than a lot of people think. Like they will get the potential if they go with the chipset and they actually buy it. They get DLSS 3, potentially frame generation, so they'll be able to run games a lot better than what we can with AI upscaling and stuff.
I'll be day one on it, man. I'll be so happy and so pumped because it's just this wasn't the device for me, right? Like I tried it, it's just like
I just feel like, and I'm not calling anybody out here. It's just the narrative around, especially with the 10 out of 10s for Zelda. It's like people are holding that stuff against Zelda because it's a Nintendo game, whereas it's mostly due to the fact that, and don't crucify me, it's mostly due to the fact that we're not getting what we want from these next gen consoles We're not getting the experiences that we expected to get, especially from our preferred platform, which is Xbox. We're not getting Redfall coming out at 30 frames per second and being busted day one, literally opens people's eyes and they say, I bought this system for and especially if you bought a Series X. You said, I bought this system for $500 and I'm not getting.
But that's why we gave them a lot of smoke,
I'm not getting
right? Like,
what I'm supposed to get for it. But then when people look at the Switch and they say, well, how is that system getting all the praise and that game getting all the praise when it doesn't even look as good as an ugly game like Redfall, and it doesn't even perform it performs the same. It's like this dynamic that people don't understand. And I always try to tell them, I was like, just because one system you went into expectations being one thing, another system you were like, I just want to play good games on it.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. I just want to play those games in a better way. And for me,
absolutely.
And so when
I
I
don't
look
think
at
anybody would fight you on that.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody would fight you on that because anybody that caps
No,
and
I want
lies
to play
to
my
you,
games worse.
yeah, exactly. I think anybody that would tell you, like I tell people all the time, I was like, they say, yeah, man, you was one of those people who said Redfall was trash. That game looks terrible. I said, absolutely. I'm not playing that game at 30 frames per second. Oh, but you love Tears of the Kingdom. Absolutely. Because there is one thing that is very inherent to a human being. You like what you like. You're going to love what you love. And no matter what it is, there is always going to be a compromise for everybody for the things that they absolutely love.
That is
Nintendo day and date on PC. Got it.
And Zelda is that one thing for me. Look, we all came from 30 frames per second. Do I want to play Zelda at 30 frames per second? Absolutely not. But that is the one thing I am willing to look over for that system, because when I bought that system, I knew I was getting into that in the first place.
Yeah.
Now, if Nintendo would have came out saying, "Oh, super high end system, eats monsters for breakfast and all this other stuff," I'm sitting there like, "Yo, then why is your flagship title running at 24 frames per second?"
I get you. The difference for me is after I bought the first Switch and I played it for like a year or so, I'm like, this ain't good enough. And I've been asking.
You thought it was going to be different?
I know. I just wasn't happy with the quality that I was getting. It was not that I thought it was going to be different. Is that I bought it.
What made you buy it? What made you buy it in the first place?
Hoping I could enjoy.
Hoping. See, that's the problem. See, that's all it is. I tell people, listen. My God,
I love the Wii. I love the Wii U.
I love it.
This was the next steps, kind of, but it wasn't the next step. And
in fact,
for me, it wasn't only not the next step. For me, it was a downgrade, right? Because the games looked the same, right? But as a console, it had less features. And I don't really like to play a lot of games in handheld. So if I was a big handheld guy, I like to go around my house and I like to play on my little ass screen and then walk around and all that shit, I would fucking love the Switch. But compared to a Wii U, which I was happy with that they ended support on, because
don't you play like NBA for like 6 months on your phone in bed at night?
Yeah, but guess what? That shit at 60 frames per second, and I'm doing that while like watching movies and stuff. And I wouldn't choose that to be like the way I experience a game like Zelda or something, right? That it's something that I have a deep passion and love for. So like when like this system came out, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's what they're going with. But like all the features within the console itself, like even the menu system sucks and it's slow and sluggish. And
it's terrible.
And it's like
I hate the
basic.
menu.
There's like no features in there. All that stuff was a huge downgrade, except the games looked the same. So if I wanted the benefit of walking around everywhere as a handheld, that would be great. But for me, the trade-off wasn't good. And in fact, the system was worse for me as a console gamer. So like
you just worry more about the hardware of.
Yeah, I just want the hardware to be better. And I think the Switch 2, because of the amount of time that's been, will inherently at least close that gap.
That would eliminate half my problems.
So Nintendo needs to come out with a new piece of hardware every 1 year for you.
Like
it's going to be outdated.
The DSs, they went from like DS to like 2DS. So DS to the like then they had the 3DS,
DS XL,
DS XL. They had the 2DS, 3DS, all these different DSs and stuff, right? And like as a handheld, they just stuck with the Switch for like 6 years and haven't really done anything to it, except in the OLED, which is the same basic thing. But like the 3DS was an upgrade in power. And
so it's more of a console because they don't do anything to it.
Well, I guess you could say That if you actually want to go with their regards to that's how they're treating it. Yeah. As a business model, Nintendo has replaced the console model with this hybrid model, right?
Mhm.
And for me, as a console, it was a step back.
Well,
That's-
here's
that's all I'm saying.
a compromising question. What if, without getting Nintendo lawyers involved, what
Oh,
if
they already
you
here.
put Tears of the Kingdom on your Steam Deck?
I know people that
that's-
have done that.
Yeah,
Saw some issues.
you should be
yeah.
able to get your 60 frames because I've seen
That's
a few of those that
literally-
have already.
Oh, I
gotten
see 60
theirs.
frames. Matter of
Yeah.
fact, I'm looking at a screenshot that I took in the game on my PC on this ultra wide at 60 frames. It's glorious.
Yeah, I mean that's my only problem with Nintendo is the hardware. I
It's
think their
everybody's,
games
yeah.
are yeah. Once they eliminate that for a Switch 2, I'm there day one. Like there's
Do you
But
have
that
a
only
Switch
lasts
3
for
they
like
just
a
have
year.
different goals.
Do you have a Switch right now?
Yeah, I bought
Ex-
Tears of the Kingdom. I didn't get to play it yet, but
But see, that's the
I got
difference. So that's the thing. You just haven't got a chance to play it yet, but you have it because you're not going to wait for a game that you want to play.
yeah, I have no idea.
No
when the
matter
Switch
how
2
bad,
is.
no matter how terrible you feel about that system and wish it was better, you understand that the games that come out on that system are games that you want to play. So if you want to play
sure.
them, you're going to buy
A
the
lot of
system
people
that's got
have
them.
that mindset. They're like, yeah, screw it. Yeah,
That's it.
there's a
That's
lot of
all
people-
my mindset is. My whole mindset is like perfect example with the Xbox. I was perfectly content. Xbox has all their games on PC. I love Xbox. That's where my ecosystem is. I was sitting there
Right.
telling all of my friends, when I jump ship and went to Destiny on Xbox because I couldn't take 30 frames per second on that game anymore.
Yeah.
So I went to PC with Cognito and everybody. We was over there having a good old time. And then when the Xbox Series X got announced, Bungie came out and said, hey, 60 frames per second, 4K, ultra settings, field of view sliders on console. I was like, really? Oh, thank you, Bungie, for selling me a next gen console because Xbox couldn't do it.
Hey,
So
the thing is,
I think it is the expectations because for Redfall, I'm not playing Redfall on an Xbox. So it does have something to do with the expectations of the hardware. Because I'm like,
Right.
I'm not playing 30 frames for Redfall.
What should I
There's
play it on
certain games
PC?
I'm
It's still terrible over there.
see, I
Yeah,
agree with
I know.
everything you said, Forte.
It's
everything
still
you
terrible
said.
over there.
Everything you
It's-
said, that doesn't take away, regardless from me, the fact that I think the Switch is a bad gaming device.
No, I just think that when you bought it. I'm not going to say
It was that's what the new Nintendo games were coming on, so I had no choice.
no,
you know,
no, but you didn't keep it.
right? Because I was like excited for these games, so I have a library. I bought these games because I have excitement for these games, and I play it, and I'm like, man,
But your excitement for the game should be as long it's not like the games aren't playable.
The console,
the games are playable.
No,
man.
they held me back from enjoying the game. the actual device.
Wait. We talk about Xbox, the most nefarious console right now, where most of the AAA games outside of Forza and Hi-Fi Rush have been held back because of problems in the game.
To be fair, like, do you need 60
only a
frames
couple.
like when you're playing Animal Crossing? Like, you just go dig a hole and plant some
Yeah,
flowers.
no,
and
That's
shit.
true. You don't. You literally can watch the garden grow in 24 frames per second. It would make a difference.
I have a different issue with them on Animal Crossing. The fact you can only have one item per device was bullshit.
Oh, I agree on that.
Yeah, that's the horse shit. That's the scam aspect that I fucking it's
yeah. You got to buy multiple switches if you want to have multiple
that's
islands.
a fucking ripoff, man. Like my daughter and me got tied up on the same system and we couldn't progress, and I was like, "Fuck this shit, Nintendo! You did it again, you son of a bitch!" I wanted to I want to progress and open the next place so I can plant more flowers and shit, and like I can't because my daughter's tied on it and she didn't play the game, so I'm like, what am I gonna do? I don't want to advance it and let her miss on this amazing storyline of Animal Crossing. Fucking hell,
right.
it was bullshit.
Well, guess what? We need to get back to an Xbox topic because I don't want you to lose all your fans. Pong is about to fall asleep in his chair.
Yeah, we're about to get out of here anyway. Real quick though,
I've heard this rant so many times now. Gaming Forte, it just doesn't do anything for me. I don't have the energy for Nintendo because I just don't care. So it's just like whatever.
Listen, and that's how it should be.
Yep.
I don't care.
Back in the day, Pong, you liked the Nintendo game back in the.
I told you up
good
to
old
Super
days.
Nintendo. I haven't
Super
owned
Nintendo.
I haven't owned a Nintendo product myself since
And then that man
Super
switched
Nintendo.
over to Genesis and never looked back.
That's right,
Wait,
sir.
so you
That's
never
right.
GameCube? You never did GameCube?
Nope. Absolutely
Wow.
not. Had zero interest. My kids have owned Game Boys. I've stolen them to play like Fire Emblem and those kind of games and Golden Sun. I've played those, but I've
Golden
never.
Sun.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Golden Sun.
So,
yes.
what were you playing during GameCube? Use PlayStation? I think GameCube was around PS, PS3.
It's PS1.
GameCube was
PS1. Yep.
PS1. Oh wow.
Yep.
Yes, Xbox OG.
He's playing
Xbox.
He's playing the bouncer.
PS2.
That's what he's playing.
I was playing the shit out of Bomberman on the GameCube.
Man.
Everyone knows Dreamcast is the best out of all.
Yeah.
So-
Yes,
I had
sir.
all the Segas and all
Yes,
the
sir.
PlayStations. That's it.
Yep.
It was literally the system that made the Xbox relevant.
Before, just thanks for hopping in, man, and indulging me. I just wanted to have fun with you.
Oh no,
on
this is
that,
fun.
bro.
I wanted to jump in here anyway. I love you. I love you guys.
Yeah, you're awesome.
Yep.
Man. But real quick before we get out of here, thoughts on like Xbox Showcase. You know, I got you in the seat here. So just like, are you expecting them to step it up this year? You know, because I'm expecting big things from PlayStation. So expectations for you for Xbox.
For Xbox's showcase, I'll say I disagree with the whole premise that Starfield needs to save Xbox. I feel like Xbox needs to save Xbox and Starfield just needs to exist as a game. And I feel like that's Microsoft's responsibility at this showcase to show that Starfield's just the beginning, but all of these other games are the games that's going to make people want to come back. There needs to be a new starting point. And when people watch the Starfield Direct, I think they should leave that stream saying, yo, Starfield's going to be fire. But all the games they showed at that showcase, I'm looking forward to a lot of other games. So it can't just be Starfield and then what's next. It needs to be, oh, dang, Hellblade's coming in the next 6 months, or Avowed's coming in the next 8-9 months, and they look really cool. And you see the gameplay in that trailer they showed for Fable, even though it doesn't come out to the end of 2024, looked incredible. And I'm super excited to see exactly more and more that they're going to do on that. Instead of like, oh yeah, the showcase was good, but yeah, Starfield is the only thing I was really interested in. That's what they need to kind of do with this showcase. So I think they're going to deliver on that because I feel like they have to. Because I feel like it's super unfair for Todd Howard, and Todd Howard to put themselves in this situation. So I feel like Bethesda and Starfield is going to live up to expectation, but it's going to be ridiculous if this showcase doesn't do what it needs to do. So there's a lot on this showcase. I would almost say, even with Sony not doing a showcase for literally the last 20 months,
over 600 days.
Yeah, like it's literally been like 18, 19 months at this point.
Yeah.
I still say, even knowing they haven't shown anything, people have more faith in what they're going to show at their showcase without even seeing it than what Microsoft is going to show at this one. And Microsoft got more games to show than PlayStation has. So I just think all the eyes is going to be sitting right there at them on June 11th. I have very high expectations because I don't have to have an Xbox. I have a PC to do it. I like having an Xbox because I like supporting the ecosystem. And I think there's a lot of people out there that are like, I don't really have to be on a console to enjoy these games. And what about the newer people coming out? You know, new people that's going to be buying into the ecosystem over the summer or over the winter and stuff. You know, is Starfield going to be it, or are we going to have more things to look forward to? So that's where I sit on it. I think it's going to be a good showcase. I mean, not even a good. I think it's going to be great because I think they're going to show us everything we want to see. It just comes down to the way that they go about doing it. Is it going to be enough to subvert people's expectations of, is Starfield a bust for this year versus what is going to be for this year and going into next year too?
Yeah, that's good takes, man.
Good
I
points,
love
man.
it. Yeah. But I think we're all looking forward to it. Shout out to Vik The CLiCK, who just gave an awesome super chat and gifted 5 memberships.
Thanks, Vic.
Yeah, Vic, you rock, man. He said with $5, it says on my 5th drink. There's a special lady that gave me my first month of membership with this podcast, and I miss you, so I'll keep paying it forward. That's super awesome, man. Thanks, Vic. Appreciate you.
Nice.
Yeah, so everybody, you know, I think it's about that time we wrap it up and get out of here. I want to thank Forte for hopping in randomly and tolerating somewhat my Nintendo.
It wasn't randomly.
No,
You baited him
you
here
baited
completely.
I
Come
did.
on, man. You laid a whole track of treats to get
I
Forte
know.
here.
You're right.
Man.
He was
You
willing
looked
to
into
lose.
the camera and called him out and called his favorite console. Oh, come
Yeah.
on.
No, that ain't my favorite console. Xbox ain't my favorite console.
Well, whatever.
Xbox
You got
still
your
my
second favorite game of all time on it, so it's
Yeah.
up there.
Thanks
You
for
did say
hopping
that,
in.
so.
in the top,
Forte,
it's in the top 5.
top 5,
Yeah.
I think.
Well, Breath of the Wild's in the top 5. I got to finish this one to see.
Oh, real quick, are you more excited? Yeah, did you see the leaked list for the Xbox Showcase, Forte? Are you more
I did.
excited about Pony Master 2, or maybe
Pony
that
Tamer.
this is fake you
Pony
dumbass?
Tamer. Did you
Yes,
change the
Tamer.
name
Did
already?
I say Master? That's
Yeah.
that
Yeah, you
was.
changed the
I'm
name.
sorry, that was 2024's show. Fuck, I got them mixed up.
man.
There you go.
Or this is fake you dumbass. Which one of those are you most excited for? Because people are really believing this list apparently.
Oh, listen, man. People are going to believe those lists until they get a chance to see it. They just starving to see something, so they're going to believe anything. So, unfortunately, it is what it is.
So where can people find you? Tell them about DPS podcast and your channel and everything, man.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I appreciate all you guys for doing this late on a Friday night. I always know where to come Friday night when I'm doing something on my PC and just Xbox Ultimate. Gonna be a great time. Let's do it. But no, really appreciate you guys. You guys are all amazing, great content creators, great individuals in general. For me, Deep Gaming Forte, YouTube, Twitter, Xbox Live, PlayStation. DPS podcast every Thursday night, 9 p.m. with the homeboy Slow-Mo Backslap. It was on my channel last night. It was a great time. Had a good chat about all the crazy stuff that you guys even talked about here today. And I literally made Slow-Mo squeal for the first 15 minutes of the show just because I was talking about Zelda the whole time and he can't stand it. He can't stand it. So it was so if you want to know more about that, go check it out. Outside of that, guys, really appreciate it. Thanks for the invite as always. And Xbox ain't done.
Yeah,
got some stuff to show.
they definitely
Let's
ain't
go.
done. That doom and gloom stuff is a little too much. We got to hold the line in the words of King David, because in all fairness, things are going to be fine, I think.
Wait, hold on, before we leave. There you go. There you go. Just remember.
Oh my God, I can hear it right now.
just remember. Every time you open your door and you see a package on your table, there's a chest opening somewhere in the world of Hyrule.
Dun, 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 dun. No, that's Final Fantasy. Is that Final Fantasy? Dun, 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 dun.
That's Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I get
Final
them. I get them mixed up all the
Yeah,
time.
but I do get.
Fuzzy, where can everybody find you, bro?
It was awesome being on here with you guys tonight. Always awesome having Forte hop in. Man, just this what do you call them? Showcase season coming in hot. But man, for those that want to hear my endless rambles or rants on anything gaming related, just follow me on Twitter, fuzzy_Belvedere. You can also find me on the Shop Podcast tomorrow with Pong, PTK Blam, and Slow-Mo will be our special guests. Find us on PTK Blam's channel at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then on Monday, you can find me on Xbox Lunch Break Special, 12 noon on Double Barrel Gaming with Mr. Boomstick, Crazy Louie, and Web Dave. And then right here for FSP with Mav, Jasper, 3-Bit, and Psycho at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Look forward to seeing you there.
Right on, man. And Psycho, if you're awake, or if you're not passed out in
Motherfucker,
where can everybody find you?
Chat, thanks for coming out. It's always fantastic seeing you guys. Forte, it was awesome having you hop on, even though Mav was shitting on Nintendo.
Okay.
As Fuzzy said, you can find me here Mondays, FSP at 10 o'clock, and Xbox Ultimate also at 10. Social media everywhere, Psychonauts 8. Just find me on there. Shoot the shit, and sometimes I fuck with some idiots on Twitter.
Right on.
Greatest right there.
3-Bit, besides having the worst poker face in all of games development, where can everybody find you?
Everyone can hold me accountable to shows on Wednesday for Ask 3-Bit. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Make sure you guys like on the way out.
Sorry.
You guys can find me on FSP, like they said, on Mondays, and then my show on Wednesdays, and then on Twitter at i3bit. Appreciate everybody in here. Great conversations. I can't always make it on Friday's show, so it's great being here. Love you all, and I'll see you guys on the next show. Forte, good seeing you, man.
We gotta get you all on DPS. I don't think anybody on here has been on there yet. We got to get y'all on. We got to get the
I think I've been there
going.
once, right?
Oh yeah, you have been there once.
Yeah,
Everybody else
there
hasn't
once.
been there.
He's forgettable. I understand.
Wow. I gotta get
I'm gonna
Pong
get mad.
on because
I
Pong
still
has
gotta
been
get
everywhere but there so far.
Jasper, what about you, bro?
Yo, check it out. Lord Jasper Twitter, Lord Master Jasper YouTube, all that fun stuff. AI Game News Twitter, check that out. And then at 10 o'clock right here, Monday, Friday, Fun Speculation Network for FSP and Xbox Ultimate. That's where I'm out, so check that out.
Right on, bro. Appreciate you. And the one and only Pong Soul.
Yes. That's all I get this time. Normally you give me more than that, but that's
The fantastic
you just dumping me,
man.
Yeah, here he is. Hey, everybody,
this person.
say bye to Pong. No, listen. It was been a great Friday night. Obviously, we went sideways tonight in a lot of different ways, but we had a great time here. We had some great conversations, and obviously, listening to Mav and Forte go back and forth about Nintendo for the last half hour was the highlight of the entire Xbox Ultimate show tonight. So hope you all enjoyed that. Listen up. You never know what's going to happen here. That's the great part. And it was fun to have Forte jumping in here because I love Forte and I love listening to him rile Mav up even more so when he jumps in here. That's always great. Hey, listen, everybody. You can find me on Xbox, on Twitter as Pong Soul. You guys already know that. Tomorrow morning, you know what time it is, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central Time, living split screen. Split screen's all one word. My brother from another Steel Rain and I will be going live to give you all the news conversation of the week. And you know it's going to go 3+ hours. It's going to be a great time. We got some rants coming up tomorrow. We're going to probably get into some of the journalist stuff. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. But 3+ hours, buckle up, get ready tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow night, like Fuzzy said, PTK Blam's channel, please drop on in there. We've been getting bigger and bigger audiences finally on Saturday night. PTK deserves all the love. 6+ years doing this. So please join us for the shop, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 o'clock Central Time tomorrow night. And like Fuzzy said, Slow Mo will be there. It's going to be fun time. And then, of course, next week it starts all over again. Obviously, Tuesday's Xbox Factor podcast, Double Barrel Gaming, Mr. Boomstick. Even though I'm not part of panel, I push it because I love that show. 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 o'clock Central Time. Be there for that. And then Wednesday, get ready. Right here on Fun Speculations channel, we will be going live to cover the PlayStation Showcase. It is a heavyweight showdown this year. It's E3 time, the old E3 time. At least it semi feels like that. Again, it's great to have Sony back, but we will be covering it live right here. I think I am going to be able to make that one. So join us on Wednesday. And then Thursday night, Mav and I will be wrapping everything up with a pretty bow on PM in the PM, Pong and Mav in the PM, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 o'clock Central Time, right back here again where I take the lead chair. We're going to have a great show next week as well. So otherwise, it's the golden age of gaming, people. Get out there, play what you love what you play. Have a great weekend, and I will talk to you all real soon. In fact, in about 9 hours. We'll see you then.
Right on, man. And shout out to Vic again with another $5 super chat. And he has got a question for you, Pong.
Oh,
it says, give him a, he says, yeah, he said, Pong, give me a pickup line. I'm about to bag a shorty.
I gave him one. I gave him one in the chat too.
Did you? I got no pickup lines, bro. I've been married for so long, it don't even matter, man. Come on now.
Nothing?
Oh my God.
No, I got nothing.
Pong has no game.
No. It's fact.
Say,
give him one, three big. Give him one.
Say, you know what, lady? If you're real good,
oh, you did.
I'll share my future friends and family Game Pass Ultimate membership with you, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, I wrote. Are you a parking ticket? Because you got a fine written all over you, and then you said that.
Nice.
Hot.
So,
hot.
bad.
It's not bad.
Not bad.
When in doubt, whip it out. Go ahead, Vic.
That's what I was joking in the chat. I said what he could say is say hold the line and then whip his dick out. But that that would be probably pretty bad. You can't do that. That's harassment. And,
Depends on what bar
You
you
ever
go
been
to.
pulled over by the long arm of the law?
Oh Jesus!
Oh my
Forte.
God.
Wow.
Well,
Kate's
let me
just like,
show you
no.
the way.
My
This is
God.
Louis.
Oh,
This-
Man, the conversation
the
can go
way.
real sideways real quick.
All right, everybody. Yeah, check us out on oh shit, he's another $5 super chat. Appreciate you, Vic. $5 super chat says, okay, I'll say a friend of mine fell in love and has a great life. You want one too?
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good one. That's smooth.
Hey,
Yeah.
Hey,
Or
I like that one.
Kate,
feel like that came from Chat GTP.
Kate said just go say hey baby girl. That would get her if you just went up to her and said hey baby girl.
I actually had a friend that actually made his Tinder profile off of Chat GTP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
ChatGPT.
Yeah, I said it wrong. Yeah, he
Did it
made
work?
it off there. He made some generic statement that he said make it seem more eloquent. Then he said make it sound more eloquent and sexy. And it came up to this crazy thing that I was like, that's actually pretty freaking good.
Oh wow. Nice.
South Park had a whole bit about that where like they didn't want to talk to their girlfriends, they were texting too much, so they just used Chat GPT all the time. So it was like so many stories they didn't know what the fuck was going on, and then like it collided. It was like, wait, that wasn't you? That was just Chat GPT the whole fucking time. It's like they had a whole episode about it.
Of course they did. No, and the biggest, you definitely don't want to use the animal crackers that Mav eats. They will never.
I
ever get them.
got some to share if
No,
you want to give her some.
No, see, you got to get married first, like Mav did, and then tell her you like those things. Otherwise, she would have never been with you in the first place.
You just proven that you're easy to please. I mean, come on.
Man. We need to get Caitlin on for a reveal stream and ask her like, so what is all the things that Mav has done? So what's the things that Mav has that you realize about Mav once you marry him that made you be like, I wish I would do this 15
It was
years
a Mav
ago.
and Kate show.
You guys
had like one episode or two.
Yeah, we did like 3 episodes of that.
We need that to come back, man, so we can like grill your wife on all of the things that
you guys say I got no game, but I scored my wife. How did I pull that off?
You're married, man. You got game.
There we go.
Do we need to go there? You got her while she was in high school.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
This said I got her while she was in high school.
You know, I rapped to her.
I get you alcohol.
I sang to her.
What did Satya say in the song?
Sorry, Caitlin, I had to.
Just go up to her and say, let's just wait and see what happens.
See, Caitlin admits, but he's not wrong. Thank you.
Vic with another $5 says, hey, I like animal crackers, so you know you will be the best tasting thing in my life. You're making the best pickup lines already.
Yeah. You should have
got this one.
You should,
just tell her that you.
No, I'm gonna say hand her the animal cracker and say, hey, you like animal crackers? I'll give you one in return if you give me yours.
Vic, just tell her you eat ass.
You like animal crackers? Why don't you put this cracker in your mouth? Wait.
No.
No.
All right, good night, everybody.
I thought you was about
Great
to
knowing you.
The next line gonna be the Eminem lives. Out of your mouth, not in your hand.
Oh my god.
All right.
You don't like plain animal crackers? I got your frosting.
Oh. All right. Everybody, tune in to our other shows. These guys already said them. And then also, audio listeners, thank you. I'm like so lost right now. If you listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or whatever, I appreciate you as well. You guys rock, and I hope you have an awesome day. Chat, you guys have been absolutely amazing this show, and you were a ton of fun. Thanks for all the support and having fun with us, laughing and tolerating our hijinks. You guys rock, and we'll see you all again. And for one last time, here's Hold the Line.
You guys are in my DM. King, what will we do? We will hold the line.
Xbox under pressure, ponies got salt, people freaking out. Hold that line. Stop it on the way. Showcase gonna show out. Satya says,
Let's wait for it all to play out.
let us compete. Hold.
Let's go, King!
You weak dudes make me sick.
King's picking facts, double staters everywhere. Redfall may suck, but we got games to spare. Boys are gonna shine, Hellblade 2, everything's fine, just hold that line. Hold the line. Hold.
Hold the line.
Hold.
Hold the line.
Hold.
Hold the line.
Let's wait for it all to play out.
Let them know you guys are in my DM. King, what will we do? We will hold the line.
Xbox under pressure, ponies got salt, people freaking out. Hold that line. Stop it on the way. Showcase gonna show out. Satya says,
Let's wait for it all to play out.
let us compete.
Hold the line.
Hold.
Let's go, King!
You weak dudes make me sick.
King's picking facts, double staters everywhere. Redfall may suck, but we got games to spare. Boys are gonna shine, Hellblade 2, everything's fine, just hold that line. Hold the line. Hold.
Hold the line.
Hold.
Hold the line.
Hold.
Hold the line.
Let's wait for it all to play out.